make all the demons quiet. Yeah, we were built to thrive, yeah. I think that we've all had enough. What keeps you up at night, yeah. Make all the demons quiet, yeah. We were built to thrive, yeah. I think that we've all had enough. Oh yeah, I think that we've all had enough. Sick of dealing with the old plan. They know that we're calling it wrong. You got me like, oh yeah, I think that we've all had enough. Sick of dealing with the old plan. They know that we're calling it wrong.
Drivers, start your engines!
Welcome everybody to the veterans and first responders here at Nashville Fair Grounds. I'm joined in the booth tonight by three guys: Tommy Abear, Jay Downham, and Andy Shaner. Jay, how you feeling about tonight, bud?
Man, I am loving it here tonight at Nashville Fair Grounds. This is where a couple of NASCAR guys got their start running it out here. Exactly, boogity 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 out there, and that's where he got his start. Was right here. The Waltrip brothers got their start right here on this very same track. Nashville is on schedule for next season, boys. So we used to be back in the old days, and I believe Nashville may be coming back to this Cup schedule. So yet again, Tommy, we bring the next gen cars, so cars where the guys might be driving. What do you think, bud?
Yeah, absolutely. On my way back from TDR track days last week, I got to stop by Nashville. Didn't get to hit the fairgrounds. Beautiful little city. I'll tell you, from walking pit road today, there's a little bump on the exit of turn 2, and we've all heard these drivers complain about how tough it is to drive this car at this track. Old surface, very bumpy. You got a car that's dialed in. We're going to see a lot of action there tonight. What do you think, Andy?
Oh boy, this one's going to be a tough one. These guys got to really be up on that wheel. Throttle control and brake control is going to be key all night long. Look forward to it.
Well, that's just it. It's going to be an exciting race, a little short track action for these guys. A track that we've hardly ever raced on. It'll be a test for these guys with with their experience in racing and all that. I mean, looking at the leaderboard, you got Andrew Bisnett with the fastest lap in practice right now with 8 minutes to go at 18.76. Chuck McDonald shortly behind. You know, seeing some different guys at the top of the leaderboard, but then, you know, you got the usual followers in Devin and Ethan and Paul Vosberg rounding out the top 5. You know, these guys are going to show their way around the track, but, you know, Tommy, you alluded to it. That bump coming out of turn 2, that could be the treacherous corner of the night.
Yeah, absolutely. Everyone down on pit road was certainly talking about it. If you're coming off a 2 and you're a little bit too low, that bump's basically going to send you up the track. If there's nobody on your outside, you can probably pick it back up. But if you're racing hard for position, it might be the cause of demise for 2 cars.
Absolutely. These guys are going to get beaten, banging, short track action, and we've seen quite a bit of action here in the past few weeks with us, and as far as TDR boys go, so we know how it gets. It's a very tricky little track, and like I said, turn one
yes.
seems to be the one that's going to upset these cars, as we've seen quite a few guys tap that outside wall. As we just saw right there is number 69. Top that outside of wall, Bradley Hunt, and I saw him get a little bit sideways. But man, it's going to be a fun night up here in Nashville and Music City. Points are tight. I mean, nobody's really running away with it. Devin Zimmerman right now holds the points lead. Ethan Thompson's nipping on his heels with 7 points behind. So, and then Andrew Bisnett, who missed a week but still maintains that third spot with 123 from 140. So there's about 17 points in between first and third. But on a track like this and 12 guys showing up out there, you never know what's going to happen, as we've seen throughout the course of the season. So it's going to be a fun night.
Yeah, and huge shout out real quick to Andrew Bisnett. I was also absent last week, so I didn't get to see it. But that rendition of Taps that he provided the footage of, very big of him to do that and put his silly face on the air, right? But played really well, and I'm glad to have that as part of the show.
Absolutely. And I believe tonight is payback night here in Nashville. So let's bring out the trio as promised. It's time to pay up on a little bit, I believe, from off the back of Mr. Andrew Bisnett, now that you bring that up. As we hear the trio of Andy Shaner, Dustin Valdusen, and Tommy Abear sing America the Beautiful. Pay up, guys.
How did I get involved?
We got any backup music on this, or
No, I didn't get any audio on this.
Is this the one
no
that
audio,
James Brown does?
This is acapella,
no-
baby.
no words. I mean, do you know the whole thing? I don't know.
Boom, 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 boom.
I don't think that's it there, Tommy.
I don't know if that's quite the tune that we're looking for.
Should I start you guys out?
I only know how to play bass.
Beautiful.
For spacious
skies,
from sea
for
to
amber
shining sea.
Wow, you don't even think you know the words.
Oh,
I couldn't
I don't know if any of us
really
know the
I
whole
know
song.
that one.
That was quite worse than the Roseanne national anthem. I'm sorry, Tommy. You did terrible.
Yeah.
Can I say I don't have to
Start
sing
the show
voice?
and play tribute to these guys, saying America the Beautiful. Let's give it up, everybody out there. Tommy, Dustin, and Andy. Good job, guys. Good
Yeah.
job. Knowing
I'm
one of
bowing
our
from the
history
booth
songs.
here.
So there you go. So dead is paid in full, and the ear has stopped bleeding. So now maybe when I sing the other song, people won't get up and walk away. Now, back up to the racing tonight. Andrew Bisnet, Chuck McDonald back out here. Devin Zimmerman, Ethan Thompson. These guys have been battling it out, but like I said, Ethan Thompson and Devin Zimmerman, there's only 7 points separating them, 12 points tonight. We all know Ethan Thompson's condition. He doesn't really do that well, and he claims not to do that well on the short tracks. But I think with a little bit of practice, he may have it down, and I expect to see him up front as well. Devin Zimmerman can hold on to his equipment, and it looks like he's been playing around with a couple of lines, so I don't expect him to be the fastest out there, because I don't think the fastest line is going to be the quickest line out there tonight. It's going to be about survival.
Yeah, I heard that on pit road as well. A lot of these guys are planning on taking it pretty easy early on, kind of finding their groove and going. But as you were talking about Ethan Thompson, Devin Zimmerman, so these guys that are the fastest of the fastest, week after week, they had a complaint, and it was that they couldn't get the car woed up enough on corner entry. A lot of them were driving in hot by mistake, and I think that more than anything makes this race anybody's to take. We've seen the best guys; their faults are making mistakes. When they make one, that's someone else's opportunity to capitalize. And I think we're going to see a lot of that out of our front runners tonight.
And I think you're going to see that coming back from, and that's why we see a couple of these guys that we're really not used to seeing up at the top there, like Andrew Bisnet, Chuck McDonald, especially this early in practice, on the top of the leaderboard, because they had to have that practice around here. They know the ins and outs. They know the little tricks about, getting in and around this track, and that's kind of helping them right now.
Yep.
Robert Cochran, not too far behind. He's only 3 tenths behind, but he knows how to get around here too. So he's had plenty of experience around here. Great to see Captain Paul Vosberg out here tonight. So great, awesome to see our firefighter out here, coming to put out the fire out here in Nashville. Ryan Ross, Chastain Walter, he could be definitely a factor if he plays up to his name tonight, especially at a short track of all places to do it. So he could push his way to the front, especially later on in the run. Christopher Rawling, been strong the last few weeks, but really hasn't shown too much of a showing. Maybe he can show up tonight and put something at the front. Andrew Cower, 556. I'm not really seeing him out all season long, so it's going to be interesting to see him out there. What are your thoughts there, Tommy?
Well, you mentioned Ross Chastain and push his way to the front, and that's something Ryan Walters known for, being aggressive like that. And I think that would probably bite him early here at a track where you really got to pace yourself. If he drives like we've seen him drive, he's going to be out of the race a little sooner than he thinks. And you mentioned Paul Vosberg out there. Great to see him as always. It's going to be quite a night. We're in for a lot of hard beating and banging, and I think we're going to see more yellows than usual in a given race.
Checking
Right,
in,
Dustin?
checking into the YouTube chat. Sharon says, "Oh my, LOL." When we were singing, I think that's when that came out. Brad Hunt says, "What is going on, guys?" But Ethan Thompson chimes in from the car and says, "Hey, who said I can't run short tracks?"
I
LOL.
never said, all right, let me clarify that. Let me clarify that right here and right now. I never said he could not run them. It's just he had mentioned in a few when we were at Martinsville and stuff like that, that this isn't particularly his strong suit. So I didn't say he couldn't run them. I do expect him to be up front because every time Ethan says something, he puts a quarter into the fib jar. So, that might be a little bit of a motivation. But right now, I mean, it's a tight field, guys.
Well, I'll tell you, on pit road, Chuck McDonald was standing tall and starting around. He was putting up some really good times in practice, and we see him doing it again here into the session. So I'm really curious to see, with 40 seconds to go here at practice, where these guys qualify. I think that's going to be a huge factor here, holding on to positions.
Yeah, definitely track position is going to be key. Andy, you haven't really said too much. That's unusual tonight. How are you feeling about the race?
It's going to be interesting. It's going to be the guys that can keep their equipment together. You see, I've been watching a lot of these guys practice. Been quiet, but watching what they're doing. Some guys are getting on the brakes too hard, rear end slipping around, and they're spinning it. Some guys are running it in too hard into the corner, pushing up, hitting the wall. Mm-hmm. It's all about control of this car. And the guys that are pushing it too hard, that's not going to work. You're going to, plow your tires off. And then the car is just going to plow even more. I am a little bit surprised at some of these times up here in practice, like Brian Boyd, who I know has put a lot of practice in, was kind of at the bottom of the speed charts there, although the times are very close. So we're going to have to see how it plays out through qualifying here, and then as the race plays out over 150 laps.
Yeah, and in Brian Boyd's defense, he was a little late to this practice session. I know he did put in a lot of work this week, and I couldn't help but notice that car. He was running that low line, exiting too. You could see just a little bit of sparks when he was coming off that bump.
Ooh,
Ooh,
and
That's
puts it right into the wall on the first lap. So that is
Guess-
not a good sign for.
guess there's another bump at 4, huh?
That was Mr.
Wow.
Zimmerman. You would
Yeah.
not
Mr.
expect that from
Zimmerman.
him. Oh boy.
Not in qualifying.
No, not in qualifying. Yeah, especially that's going to be something to watch, guys. I mean, like Tommy was alluding to, we're going to have to watch out for them yellows. But Jessica's out there, and Fusion World says, I'm going to wreck myself out. And Jessica Wright's husband is home. So excited to have our Monday nights back with this league while we can. Missed y'all. Let's get to some racing. And we back, says Tay. So Tay's back. That was our fan club that we had last time with,
Nice.
I believe it
Boy,
was
how-
Boyd's family and
This
Thompson's family.
chat gonna blow up again tonight.
Let's hope so. So while we're getting going and qualifying here, should we pay some bills, guys?
Absolutely. Let's do it.
Yeah, I missed a week. We ought to pay him twice.
Well, Jay did a good job 2 weeks ago when last time we were live. He did a good job filling in for you, but you are the voice of our bills.
No,
I'm
you are
sure he
voice.
did.
Yeah, you're definitely the voice of that.
We'll start with B&B Wraps.
B&B Wraps have confirmed for the 6th season in a row they will be providing the trophies. So one of these guys will get to take home a nice trophy board by B&B Wraps. That's basically a vinyl wrap on a board they get to hang on the wall to show that they were better than everyone else in this particular season. You can check them out at facebook.com/b.b Racing Wraps. From coffee cups to semi-trucks. If you need a wrap, they can get it done for you.
McConey Setup Shop.
Jeff McConey, a man who needs no introduction, owner and operator at McConey Setup Shop LLC at McConeySetupShop.com. These are a trusted partner at TDR. They're really the only guys we ever go to for setups outside of stuff we may have built in the community. Great customer service, great value. For $30, you can get all the dirt setups every month. For $30, you can get all the asphalt setups every month. For $50, all setups every month. And if you do a lot of racing, that has tremendous value. Everybody wants to win. Their setups, your victories. McConeySetupShop.com.
Back Charities.
Well, we happen to have the president of Back Charities here in the booth tonight, so I will hand this one over to Andy.
As always, Back Charities, big sponsor of the Vets League. Doing a lot of stuff with the veterans through charitable works. What did we do last year? A lot of holiday cards. I can't even keep track of what we do anymore.
I
Too
think it
many.
was 600 cards for the
Yep.
troops.
Yeah, 600 cards for the troops, helping veterans with PTSD get the relief that they need. I do want to give a shout out to those who contributed this past week to make a donation to Back Charities so that we can wax Tommy's legs.
Yep, I've got quite a few bald spots now.
at track days this week. So thanks for your contributions. That's going to go to a good cause of some sort that we get going here soon. Be on the lookout. Teddy Bear Race going to be coming up sooner than we anticipate, or sooner than we think it's going to come. Teddy Bear Race. We get start saving up those dollars. Buy some teddy bears for the kids over at the Dayton's Children's Hospital. And of course, we'll be doing something for the vets this year. Don't know what it is with the pullback of troops. Not so many out there that are stationed, so it's harder to get addresses to do so. But we will be doing something. I know we're in works with and talks with a couple different places. Announcements on that to come later. But backcharities.com.
Beautifully done.
Beautifully done. Chiming in on the YouTube chat, Puppet Master, which I believe is Brian Boyd, right? Am I right on that?
I believe so.
Yes. Mhm.
My mom won't be here, boys. She's preparing for knee replacement. We're praying for a speedy recovery after the knee replacement surgery. They're out there.
Well, Mom, if
Absolutely.
you're out there, we send you our best when you go back and watch this, as you watch your son get around this track tonight. So our prayers are with you, and let's get through that knee surgery and get you back out here to watch him. out here
Yeah,
competing.
get back. Yeah, get back out on the YouTube. Watch him compete, and tell put Tay back in his place when you come back. Speedy recovery off to you.
Absolutely.
Tay does say that the chat is not the only thing that blows up.
Well,
Uh,
guys, we
I'm
got
in.
150 laps around here tonight. 150 laps of pure, unadulterated, beating, banging, and let's get these things wrapped up and rolling here in about 5 minutes. We're going to put these cars on the grid and
Well,
roll them off.
we paid the bills too early. Now they just all we have is a track to look at.
yeah.
That's right. So we got
That was my
Ryan
bad.
Walter on the pole. So Ryan Walter puts it on the pole. Andrew Bisnet puts it on second. Ethan Thompson third. Christopher Rawling fourth. Chuck McDonald fifth. Paul Vosberg sixth. Devin Zimmerman seventh. Robert Cochran eighth. Andrew Cowart, the new boy, comes in at ninth, and Brian Boyd 10th, and Bradley Hunt rounds out the field in 11th. I thought we had 12 drivers out there. Maybe somebody did not qualify. Is there somebody up there that I missed from earlier?
Yeah, I think we had 11, and then Boyd hopped in a little late.
Lee has not qualified yet.
Oh, Tanner
Tanner
Lee.
Lee.
Yeah, that's another one. Tanner Lee out there. But going back to Nashville, this is not the big track. This is a small track. This is kind of goes back to the old NASCAR days where they did actually used to run back here earlier. This is one of the many of the 5 short tracks that were all located along Tennessee, Virginia border. So and North Carolina. Can't forget North Wilkesboro. But
I'm okay with it being added back to the schedule.
that's right. So they are in talks of bringing this one back on here. There's been a lot of big races that have come back, and a lot of publicity has come back to Nashville now that they added the straight course, the super speedway, and now they're talking about bringing this course in particular back onto the Cup schedule.
Yeah,
if they
I
can
think
put it in there.
I think drivers nowadays have gotten spoiled. You know, the short tracks they go to are well groomed, well prepped. You know, give them back to an old surface. Let him prove who's a man out there.
Absolutely.
Tommy, we had the privilege of experiencing a highly famed track this past weekend that has that. It's a beat up racetrack. You want to talk about that?
Oh, goodness gracious, Salem Speedway. So when you walk into the pits and you look to the right and you're looking at 1 and 2, there's 2 lanes in 1 and 2. You cannot run the high side. There's a giant crack in the pavement. There are weeds growing out of it. You want to talk about a historic racing surface? People know to avoid that corner so much that grass is allowed to grow. No, we had a great time, and actually when Jay was talking about Brian Boyd, I was going to give you a shout out, Andy, for hosting TDR track days and having us up there. We got to meet Brian Boyd and Tanner Lee in person. A couple of great guys. It was a good time. If you guys are able to check out one of these TDR track days when we do them, go find a post about it when we make them up in the group. We usually try to pin them so everybody can check it out. It's a good time. It's good to meet your fellow drivers and turn this online racing thing we do into real lifelong friendships.
Absolutely. Can't agree with that more. Track days are out there, and if you can make it out there and join the TDR family, we hope you can make it out there. I know a lot of us try and love to go out, but just, life just gets in the way as usual. Jessica Vosberg chimes in. Hubs requested this to schedule so we could be here for Mondays when he isn't off doing his thing. So this is going to be a good night. This track is a spicy one. So absolutely. And your hubby is out there in 6th, so we're rooting for him, Jessica. Good to see him back out here. And thank you for, and that's what this is so great about it, is he's actually rearranged his schedule to be out here. So that's definitely something we can be proud of.
I got to get one real quick shout out in before the cars get lined up here for green flag. Shout out to John Lister. He's probably not watching, but we'll make sure he watches back. Hood pins matter.
Hood pins matter. They do. I heard the story earlier today, and hood pins matter. You need them in your car when you go out on the track.
Oh, man. We took a picture of his car, and then he went out and the hood flew up, and we went and looked back at the picture, and sure enough, in the picture, if someone had noticed, no hood pins.
Right. It's good to have Sharon back out there. Sharon's been missing from us for a couple weeks. So good to see you out there, sis. Thank you for coming back out and enjoying the action. We appreciate you, everybody that's out there. Tay, good to see you back out there. I'm sure you're going to spicing up the chat a little bit there. Jessica's here. We got Puppet Master here.
I love Jessica's commentary. This track is a spicy one.
Yeah. It's gonna
I
be
guess
some
we're
hot
thinking.
racing tonight, that's for sure. I mean, these guys are gonna beat and bang on this short track, and Tommy alluded to it. We were talking about that bump in two. This is gonna be a fun race. We hardly see these guys on these short tracks, so this is going to be a fun night.
Yeah, I think that bump in two is really going to show up with the guys who haven't practiced as much and may have not recognized that hazard down there. And corner entry for these guys that put up the big speed every week. Corner entry is going to be so difficult for them to master, not upset the car, not give someone else the opportunity to take the spot.
Andy was alluding to that earlier. He's seeing some guys go in there deep and watching their cars wash up, and getting on that gas pedal a little early too can upset the car too. It's going to be interesting. Turn one, as when they take the green flag here, is going to be the corner to watch, as we always say.
Yeah, the only complaint I heard out of like the five top names was how hard it was to get the car slowed down on corner entry.
All right. So going into tonight, let's see. We've had 3 different winners. Zimmerman, Thompson, and Biznet. Ryan Shelton, who has been having some issues lately, when our hearts go out to Ryan, and hopefully he can get everything straightened out, and the family situation there, and get all that taken care of, because we do miss him out here and shaking things up. But seems like a few other guys have stepped up. Ryan Walter, who said he was going to crash out tonight, sitting on the pole. So if he crashes out, he's going to take the field with him. I can tell you that. So I
And
don't
if
know
he
about
doesn't,
that.
he's got to put a quarter in the fib jar.
That's right. So it's a fib jar if you do.
That is so bad. Ross Chastain on the pole. Oh boy.
Well, he can't run into anybody there.
I was just saying you
Yeah,
can't
you
run
can't
anybody
run
over
into
all
anybody
behind you.
So that's good. And don't count Boyd out. He will bring it. So absolutely, we're not counting any one of these drivers out. Any one of these drivers have been known to bring it to the front. Boyd's going to be one, especially to watch, coming from 10th all the way up the top there, as Mission 22 has picked up another driver there, as I see 3 of them now on track.
Yeah,
Ryan
Brad-
Walter.
Tanner Lee and Brian Boyd are actually running together as teammates. They have matching schemes, opposite colors.
And they
Right, and
gained
then
they
also
gained Bradley Hunt as well, as Jay was
Bradley
alluding to.
Hunt. Yep, so
Now,
Bradley Hunt is now part of that.
as they get lined up, we got to do it real quick. Who's your favorite tonight?
That's going to be a tough one, because I'm not sure who's got the speed. I'm going to go with Captain Paul Vosberg tonight. I think that he can maintain. He's really just sitting mid-pack, and that's where it seems to be a few of the past winners have come from. So my pick is definitely Paul Vosberg.
A part-timer with solid points.
As the pace car goes down on the pit road.
Real quick, I'm going Andrew Bisnet.
Tanner Lee.
There you go.
Just
so,
throwing out names.
We'll tell you why later. Stay tuned.
I'm gonna go Chuck
Right.
McDonald.
All right, there you
All right,
go. And
getting ready.
solid pick. So Andrew Bisnet takes that early lead out to the front on top of Ryan Walter, but he's got that high side, which I think is more the preferred side, especially down through 1 and 2, as we were alluding to earlier. That bump is on the lower side, so watch out for that as these cars do get up to speed, get the temperatures up to speed. As you see that bump right there with Ethan Thompson, you just got to kind of let it roll through the corner, come off, and then slam on that gas. Down the backstretch we go for slamming on that brakes going into turn number 3 and 4, as there's a good battle right there between Ethan Thompson and Christopher Rawling. Christopher Rawling has a preferred side. On that outside lane, you can keep the car rolling. It's not going to bounce around as much, so there's a little bit less. You can get on the gas a little bit more, maintain more of that speed on the outside. Tommy.
I'm just watching this battle between second and third, door handle to door handle. Ethan Thompson, one of the faster guys, is able to make that bottom line kind of work. Christopher Rollins, he has speed a lot of the time. We don't always see him shine every night, but here he is running at his best with one of the best and successfully completing the pass.
We got a new third place up there. Christopher Rawling as they go.
Ooh.
And there
Ooh.
goes Devin Zimmerman again. He's going to collect the 911 car. Is that Cowart down there? So he collects Cowart.
And that'll bring
he's
out the
going to
yellow
cut
for
the
sure.
needle from that. Oh, man. It looks like Chuck McDonald just skated through.
Maybe got a little
Chuck
bit of
McDonald
damage.
got in the back of that. Cochran,
looks
I
like
see,
Chuck-
got through.
Chuck just caught the tail end of Zimmerman there. Probably a big speed difference there. He might have a good chunk of front end damage. Yeah, here we go, right there.
Yeah, right there.
Looks like everybody else
Ooh.
kind of skates by.
Yeah, everybody else, Reds and Nitos, have got the first caution out on lap number 5. So, I mean, that's. Yeah, I think Chuck did just get into the back, but it was kind of like a closing rate. You couldn't really see what. And then right there, I mean, there was nothing he could do.
Yeah, the
But he
speed
was able
difference
to keep it
between the
going.
two, you could stand on that brake pedal and not get woed up enough.
Yeah.
Right. So he'll get caught up. I don't know. It
Um,
is a short track, so aerodynamics definitely will not play into effect tonight. It's about keeping that car from overheating, especially during a bump in the front. I have noticed that a few cars just taking a little bit of damage on the front have overheated and blown up. So
and on
something
a
to keep in
lighter
mind.
note, how about the paint scheme on that 911 car?
Yes, that 911 car was looking really, really good.
That's Andrew Cowart. We have him registered as, I think, 556. That paint scheme looks incredible.
Yeah, and I believe it was Ryan Walter carried 911 Tribute, but 2 weeks ago.
Yep, 2 weeks ago.
So, and now we're carrying another 911 tribute. So it's great to see these guys out there paying tribute to honors of their fallen police, fire department, 911.
I'm
Terrible
kind of
time for
looking
America.
at the hood here now, and it looks like there might be a bunch of names on there. So I'm betting that it
Yeah,
has to have the names on there.
I
Yeah.
believe that's probably the names from the Wall of the Fallen at
Yeah,
the memorial.
that's pretty cool. I like the paint.
Yeah, very cool paint job. I love how creative these guys get with it. Like I appreciate the whole, respecting the military and showing their support, but the amount of effort and time they put into these paint schemes is just awesome.
Oh, yeah, definitely. And it looks good.
Well, sorry, Andrew. I wish it was under better circumstances, but that was your 15 seconds of fame there. Now, hopefully, he'll get his quick repair, get out there, and make something happen. Looks like Devin Zimmerman's still on pit road. Risking going a lap down here. I wonder if maybe he didn't have the quick repair checked. Hopefully, he's gonna get on the gas any second here.
Points matter, points matter, points matter. Can't stress that enough. It's easy to give away, hard to get back. As we all know, Devin Zimmerman has had a couple weeks where it hasn't been the greatest for him, but he has also been leading in the wins. So,
Well, pace car's off. Leaders are coming around 4 now, and he's still showing on pit road.
as we go back to green, Biznek gets a huge jump on them.
Ooh.
Oh my goodness! Chastain Ross Walter gets turned around.
Yeah,
That
Robert
should
Cochran.
bring out another caution. As Robert Cochran just got into the back of him, but I believe that started well before that. He got loose going in. Oh, that was Rawlings who, whether Ryan Walter got down, just slowed up, and I'm not sure if Rawlings had nowhere to go.
Yeah,
That
it
speed
almost-
differential is just kind of ran right into the back of him. So
Yeah, I wonder if there might have been a little bit of net code there. It looked like Cochran's car kind of jumped forward in a way that the throttle wouldn't allow. That's for sure. If you see when he's slowing down, just right there, just kind of jumps forward a little bit into that 77.
yeah, so well, it looks like just Ryan Walter got loose coming down and just started to spin, and Rawlings was on the gas, committed, and I don't think he even saw him until it was too late, spinning in front of him. And
Or,
then
hey,
Cochran was right there, just trying to just maybe avoid it.
we had some payback
Oh.
earlier in the broadcast. Maybe that was a little bit of payback on track we weren't looking for, since Ross Chastain has a bit of a reputation out there.
Right? No, that was Ethan Thompson who he got involved with at Daytona and turned him up, which got him the reputation. And so here we go. We're going to line him back up, Andrew Biznet. Now, Ethan Thompson moves up to second spot. He's pretty much stayed out of trouble. Kind of just playing that conserve mode, I would imagine, right now.
Yeah, my boy Tanner Lee up to 7th. I pretty much taught him how to drive stick last weekend.
There you go. So
It was interesting.
yeah, well, he's up to sixth spot right now, but
I had asked, he has like a little Miata that's kind of sporty looking, and I hadn't driven one in years, and I said, "Can I drive your car to Walmart?" And he says, "Yes." And I'm a car guy, right? So I go through first, I run it through second. There's no third. Or fourth.
right there you go.
But
So man,
apparently
what
he has to double clutch the car to get it to shift.
nice. As we see Chuck McDonald getting his repairs coming in.
Oh, brother
I
Jim
did see
checking in.
Devin Zimmerman come back
He is
out.
back out. He's actually ahead of the leaders right now, so I don't know if he'll get that wave around to get a lap back. I'm not sure how this works, if he got out before the caution or after or right as it. I don't know how that will play out, but it looks like he's getting that wave around right now. Maybe I don't know.
Hey,
Yeah, it looks like he's lined up to get around the pace car here. I don't know if he's expecting it or has it.
So I think he's scored 4 laps down right now.
yeah, he's at
Yeah.
4 laps down.
So these
So he's
cautions are his best friend right now.
Oh yeah, yeah. Hard to get him back the hard way at a track like this. Extra hard, I should say.
well, we've
Wow.
already seen double the amount that we normally see at one of these races. So within the first 14 laps, we got a long way to go. But no, I see Jim can't chimed in. Hi, Jim.
There
How
he
are you,
is.
bud? He says, "Hey, sister, and hey, brother Jay. What's up, Jim?" And Sharon just chimes in and answers them back. So welcome to the broadcast. Really didn't miss much. 14 laps, 2 cautions so far, and pretty much the leaderboard is flipped upside down, except for Andrew Bisnet has remained on top the entire time. Everybody else is kind of flip-flop position there. So as we roll down.
Jim just got done walking the boards. Does that mean like strolling on the boardwalk?
That's how I'm
Yes.
taking that. Yes.
Yes, that is definitely a Jersey thing. So if you don't know what that means, you have to you had to kind of one of them be there, like y'all,
About time
you
to
know.
watch this Nashville thing.
There it goes. We got 2 of the top dogs going top. Ethan going to try and take that from Biznet. Biznet's going to take that low side, jump up in front, cut that line off. Ethan Thompson's going to just stay right there on his back bumper. So you got Brian Boyd now coming up in 3rd and Robert Cochran up in 4th. So that's a good little spot as we still got Ethan just chasing down Andrew Biznet.
Yeah, great move by Bisnet too, blocking Ethan on that line. He had the momentum. He kind of slowed him down, and now as long as Andrew can maintain that line, not give up the outside to Ethan, I think he's going to be sitting pretty here for a while.
Yeah, and Ethan should just be able to maintain. If he can just keep that car
Ooh.
going. Oh, somebody.
Robert
is that
Cochran.
Cochran again to the bottom there and just got in the inside wall? It looks like
Off
he's
track.
going to. One car. Looks like he's going to maintain. So no caution coming out. These guys remain green. As we're now 18 of 150. And we still, man, Ethan is just putting that pressure on Biznet coming out of 3 and 4.
Yeah, a lot of racing left to go here.
Rutchen Y and Walter battle back up just past teammate Brad Hunt.
And he is quick. I mean, he did start on the pole, so he definitely has a car that can do it. That's for sure tonight.
Yeah, Brian Boyd sitting P3, looking good over there. Practice definitely paying off for him. Tanner Lee now up to 6th.
Yeah, Tanner Lee up to 6th, and Bradley Huntington's up in 5th, and he started back in the pack a little bit earlier. So
I'd
yeah,
take that back as Christopher Rollins completes the pass on Lee, and Coward completes the pass on Lee.
Next up, Chuck McDonald.
Come on, Tanner. I thought I taught you good.
Lee looked like he just got up into that outside back wall there, as we've Andy Shaner has noted earlier. You get on that outside, you're going to tap that outside wall, and so I think that's what these guys are experiencing, especially if you hit that bump. It's kind of hard to control.
Get ready for screenshots, fellas, at the end of this race, because we're about to see all 3 of the Mission 22 teammates here.
There they are, pretty much in
by the way,
one
Tommy-
shot right there.
Tommy, I'll go ahead and say it. And Chuck McDonald completes the pass on Tanner Lee and Paul Vosberg.
And Ethan Thompson makes a pass on Biznet for the lead.
So there you go. Ethan Thompson up to the front. Biznet, Ryan Walter, Brian Boyd, Christopher Rawling in that 5th spot. Bradley Hunt's just hunting down that thing with Chuck McDonald, Paul Vosberg, Tanner Lee, and Andrew Coward is now on the pit lane there. So I'm not sure. He must have tapped something and gone back down, got repair. He's sitting there. Robert Cochran is now 2 laps down. Devin Zimmerman sitting at 4 laps down with his earlier incident when he tapped the outside wall and got involved with Andrew Coward in the beginning. Back up front, we got Ethan Thompson just kind of moving him, maintaining about 2-3 car lengths in front of Andrew Biznet as they roll around for lap 25. We're rolling through. Dustin, what are you seeing out there, bud?
Seeing a lot of sparks. They're bottoming out on the track. That's what I'm seeing right now. A lot of sparks. A lot of fireworks. It's not 4th of July anymore.
4th of July is every day.
It is.
As we see Bradley Hunt now is Bradley Hunt, Brian Boyd are now looked like they were fighting for position, but Boyd just can't seem to keep that. Or I'm sorry, Bradley Hunt can't keep that car on that bottom lane as he went from bottom to top, top to bottom, just searching for some speed. And I don't think he can find it right now. As we see Devin Zimmerman now go to the outside of him.
Yeah, Christopher Rollins on the march too. He's gone from 7th to 4th in just a handful of laps here.
And he's right on the bumper of Ryan Walter.
Yeah, so Christopher Rawlings has put in his practice time out here, and like I said, it's good to see a lot of these guys out here. We don't see very often, but we know they're quick.
Didn't
Every
one of
one
us
of them are
pick
quick.
Rollins?
Nope.
Oh,
I think we had Chuck McDonald.
maybe we should have.
Yeah.
Oh, as he just taps that
Just
outside
taps
wall, he's
off,
going to
yep.
lose a little bit of scrub off a little bit of speed, but it's not really going to hurt the car all that much. But you just got to be careful of that.
It looked like
Definitely.
he recovered from that nicely. He actually made some gains there coming out of 4. And
Yeah,
big
he's
gains
been-
here coming out of 2. If he can stay off that bump. Oh,
Yeah, he's chasing down Ryan Walter. Walter kind of, it looked like he was angling that corner going in the turns 1 and 2, I guess, to try and avoid that bump as he takes it down low, and then he'll diamond it right here, take it higher, and then go around and try and grab that underneath again. So he's kind of avoiding that bump. I think he said that one too many times.
yeah,
Starting to
and
mark that with a big X on the on his mark.
Ryan Walter, another one who's made a pretty big march. You know, we saw him with that incident early on, pretty much sorted out to the back of the field. Now here he is back in 3rd. But look at Ethan Thompson and Andrew Bisnett. They have separated themselves by a zip code easily. Haven't separated much from each other. Well, that didn't help.
Right now, now they're working on lap traffic as they try and get around Tanner Lee there, and they clear him quite well. As Ethan Thompson's putting on a clinic out here.
Yeah,
Definitely has it smoothened out the track. So he's definitely taming Nashville Fairgrounds. But as you can see, Andrew Bisnett's taking that higher line right now, and that could be indication of tire wear as well.
prior to that break in momentum from the lap traffic on Andrew's part, he had gotten it within 3/4 of a second to Ethan Thompson, whereas prior to that they were about a second and a half apart. So he was making progress on Ethan, and I think as they continue to navigate this traffic, I don't think Andrew is he's not done fighting yet.
No, and they still got another pit stop, if not 2 coming up. I know these 2 did not get in any trouble, so they're still the only 2 that have not pitted, I believe.
Well, I think track position is going to matter here, and I think we're going to see a lot of late pits from these guys that haven't come.
Track position, I think, is I agree with you to a certain point that it's going to be, but they're able to get around each other. We've seen it happen. We saw Thompson get around Bisnet, just depending on what line you want to take. So if you could take away that high line coming out of the turns, seems to be more the advantage of getting underneath the guy and pushing him high. So it's kind of like the opposite here than you would normally think of. If you can get on that outside, it's going to take away their momentum to the outside, and then you're able to pull alongside of them, push them down over that bump. That's going to definitely upset the car, and then you'll have the momentum coming out at 1 and 2. So that, if anything, that's going to be the opportune time to pass somebody at this track.
Yeah, I definitely agree. As we're riding around here with Paul Vosberg, or as we were riding around with Paul Vosberg.
Well, they had a close battle, but then you got Christopher Rawling and Ryan Walter at a close battle as well on track. You know, you're gonna try to go back and forth between these 2 sets of cars, and
That's exactly what I was going to bring up. Was you look at these 2 guys? Paul Vosberg was running a line just kind of right in between them, and Paul Vosberg making moves. He's closing the gap on Chuck McDonald. The battle between Ryan and Christopher super tight right there, and then Ethan Thompson and Andrew Bisnet. It's almost like 2 by 2 by 2. We have 3 battles here that are anybody's game.
And now that we're coming up on lap traffic as well, as these guys are encountering some lap traffic, that's definitely going to put another dimension into this track, as it is short. It's not as wide as it looks when you're driving. From the view that we see here, if you're inside that
That's
car,
the truth.
it looks a whole heck of a lot tighter than it actually is when you see it. As
So
you can
say,
see
we
here,
can go inside that car. We have that
as you can,
capability.
right, you can see here that track does not look as big as when we show it in the wide shot on TV. So as a driver, this is what you're seeing. And somebody goes to your outside, I mean, there's plenty of room to get down to the bottom, but you're just not willing to take it. So, but it is, yeah, it's tight inside the car, but wider than it appears. So,
Real quick, if anybody has any requests, there'll be a delivery coming for some ice cream. If you have some
ice cream
requests.
Ice cream.
Flavored requests. Jim is delivering ice cream.
Pistachio.
Rocky
Napolitan. Get the all 3 of best of all worlds: chocolate, strawberry, and vanilla.
Pistachio, sweet cream, and nuts.
You are nuts, so that kind of right up your alley.
Touche, sir.
No, Tommy needs a blizzard so they can put it upside down before they give it to him.
Right.
Make sure he's cemented in, right? There you go.
As we see Ethan Thompson coming up on lap traffic again.
Hey, yeah, he's getting around Tanner Lee. Again, Tanner's just kind of out there trying to, Tanner came in the league. I think this is third or fourth race with us.
Yes.
So he's still feeling.
He's only been iRacing about as long. So Brian Boyd also new to iRacing just a few months in. Him and Tanner live pretty close to each other, and he convinced Tanner to get iRacing just to run this league. So he's as new at this as he is at driving Miatas.
Right, as we see Ethan Thompson, Andrew Bisnet, Ryan Walter, we're at 46 and 150, so we're just about a third of the way through the race right now. I would imagine that pit stops will be coming right after halfway. I mean, I'd imagine they'd be able to go 76 laps on fuel for sure. Tires, you're definitely going to need to get them here, that's for sure.
Speaking of Miatas, you know who's not on track? Ryan Shelton.
Yeah, we mentioned him earlier. He's having some issues that aren't allowing him to come out on Monday nights right now, so some family stuff going on. So, like I said, we send out our prayers to Ryan Shelton and hope to see him back out here next season. And hopefully he can get everything taken care of on that side of things, and we really miss him out here. That's
Can't
for
wait
sure.
to see it back on track, Ryan, if you're watch this later.
Absolutely. I didn't catch the debrief on that, but family's always more important than this silly little thing we do going in circles, right?
Right?
Watching,
As we see Ethan Thompson now go around Brian Boyd.
Watching Ethan Thompson drive here, Andy was talking, and I think we all were talking about how much tires mean a lot here. Is he burning his stuff up? I mean, he is pulling away from Bisnet with 2.5-second lead right now. I mean, is he burning his stuff up? Is he going to try to cut this in thirds? Is he going to try to run it out all the way? It'll be interesting what happens.
It's hard to say, but as you were saying that, I was watching him come out of two, riding over that bump, see the sparks flying, and maneuvers like that will eat those tires up. Upsetting that car, walking up the track with it, there you see it again, more sparks coming out of the bottom, so maybe he is burning it up a little bit. Kind of uncharacteristic for him, but I see what you're getting at. It looks like maybe he's being a little too aggressive early on, or maybe he's just trying to get those extra seconds for a green flag pit stop.
Well, and you never know. I mean, Bisnet could have ate up his tires too, and he looks like he's running that middle line. He's just running around, but he keeps falling back a little bit more every turn, and it's interesting what's going on up here, guys.
Well, unusual track car combo. I don't think anyone up here has any experience unless we did some testing for this event. Maybe everybody's tires are ate up and Ethan's just managing the best,
Right, yeah, exactly. I mean,
it is an older surface. You got that bump that pushes the car up the track and really does scrub a lot of rubber off, and it does seem like the entire race pace has slowed a little bit.
Yeah, they're running about 20-second laps right now.
Yeah, a little over 20-second laps, so it is slowing down. Tire wear is definitely coming into effect. I mean, you're running 53 laps right now, so you're definitely
only 1/3 into it too. There's still 2/3 left of the race.
Right, and we're starting to see these cars get a little bit more upset coming across that bump than we did a little earlier. Not that they weren't, but yeah, it's gonna be one of those things where we're just going to wait and see exactly what everybody's gonna do.
So
I don't believe.
Jim Downham just chimed in on the YouTube that Tanner blew his motor before they took the green flag at the Roval last night.
Yes, he over revved his engine before we even got moving.
Yeah.
And then blew it going out of turn. I think it's 6 or 7 last night.
Well, for someone new to iRacing, though, I mean, getting on that Roval, I mean,
and driving a stick.
Jay, Andy, and I all had our battles with that Roval last night, didn't you, Andy?
I don't want to talk about it.
Hey, I understand. I blinked out last night. I don't know what happened. I was doing so good. I was maintaining right where I wanted to be, and then all of a sudden, here comes a couple people, and they're like, Jay was just here. He's just here. And then I started seeing it blink, and I went from 6th to 17th, and I went from, I was starting to go laps down, and I was just continuously running my laps. I'm like, all right, well, and then there was no sense in me continuing. So,
Ooh, Bradley.
as we see, Hunt go to the, that's a hard lick.
And with the new damage model that they had in the last update, I'm gonna guess he's got a wobbly right wheel.
Yeah, that's gonna definitely cause some damage unless he hits solid. I know I've hit a couple of times during
It actually
practices,
don't
and
look
if you
bad.
hit solid, you're fine. But if you get that right front end first, yeah, it's definitely gonna say
It,
you got wheel
it
damage.
actually don't look bad looking at his car from up here. It don't look too bad down on the track. He's still going around. He must not have got that lovely meatball that we all got last
Ooh,
night.
Tanner Lee trying to get out of the way of those guys and almost gets a punt right in the back of them. So
Because Ethan's coming
yeah,
up on Paul Vosberg now too to put him a lap down.
Yeah, at least he's
Ethan is
doing the
on a
right thing.
tear tonight. Yeah, Ethan is on a tear tonight.
He's trying to prove you wrong that he can drive a short track.
He can do whatever he needs to. It's, yeah.
Like, I don't care
Hey,
what
I
happens
just
as long
call
as we get a
stuff I
quarter
make
in the lie
controversy.
jar.
Right? I just call controversy and we get quarters in the jar. So if that motivated him to get the win, then like I said, he owes me half the winnings at the end of the year and half the board. So
Jim chimes in. I think Tanner needs a little help, and that's the thing we do at TDR. We can get together with Tanner and have some fun with him and help him drive a little bit more and get him better. That's
Right.
what we love to do here at TDR.
Yeah, he
Guys.
and I at track days, we talked a lot about like how to work on his car and just walking him through some things he didn't know. Like, and look at him doing the right things here, right? He's being a little slow, but he's getting out of the way, trying to give up some room. He's doing the right things. I'm sure some guys here will help him along, and we'll probably see him running up front here, maybe by the end of the season.
Right. And I'm sure he'll get the hang of it. I mean,
It
it
takes
is
time.
a little bit of it does take a lot of time.
Let's see.
Yeah, a lot of seat time. You have to get out to these tracks. You have to put yourself in uncomfortable situations. Get out here.
Oh,
Oh, yeah, he's just putting it in spots that he really shouldn't
Talk
be.
about
Right?
uncomfortable situation.
I was just gonna say
Yeah,
the
that's
same
gonna
thing,
be
Andy.
yeah. So
That looked
he's
pretty
gonna.
uncomfortable.
Is that? I'm surprised that he could not get it going, especially in front of the field.
I think he's trying to. I think he's trying to. In my eyes, I'm seeing he's playing it too safe. I've seen him get on the apron as he backs into the
Yeah,
field, but he's getting on the apron, trying to get out of people's way, and you know,
it's not
what
really
I learned
smart
when
of
I
him.
got on this, I used to race dirt, and dirt you really don't get out of anybody's way. It's kind of hard. But on asphalt, it's a whole different animal when you're racing on asphalt. You feel like you got to get on that apron to get out of the way. I used to do that, and I think it was either Andy or Tommy that told me, "Hey, don't get on the apron. You're gonna spin," and then I spin. So
Yeah, and it's very upsetting to the car to have that sudden change in banking and geometry. It's much better to try to run the bottom line. Again, it's always the guy behind's job to get in front.
right, very
Yeah,
true.
you stay
And they
comfortable,
will.
you stay predictable, you're doing the right thing if you're slower.
And that's what everybody has mentioned. All the top guys in TDR, everybody that runs in front and in these leads and kicks our butt on a daily basis, they tell you the same thing. You maintain your line, and we'll get around you. You don't worry about us. We'll get around you.
Don't
Yeah, it
slow
doesn't
down
So
and hit your
yeah,
brakes. Just hold your
right. Don't slow
line and
down. Don't move over.
run a
Just
predictable line. Yeah.
run your line.
Yeah.
Yeah, run your predictable line. Don't be erratic. Just don't try and block. Just run a predictable line, and they'll find a way around you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
predictability is key, for sure.
We all were there at one point in this, and
Oh, absolutely.
I'm still
As
there.
Let's see, in the battle for third and fourth now, as Chuck McDonald has been chasing down Ryan Walter and is right on his back bumper.
I'm
So this is
telling
the
you.
best battle on the track right now. As Chuck
Chuck
McDonald
McDonald
is
was-
going to move into third spot.
He was walking tall on pit road. Qualified P2, I know he was second in practice as
second
well.
in practice, qualified P4 or 5.
As you
Yeah,
see,
so
these
he's-
guys are door handle going out of turn 1 and 2, and Ryan just takes that
yeah.
outside. Had to back off and concede that to Chuck McDonald, but we're at 70
Wow.
of 150, so now it's definitely going to come down to I'm saying at least 76, 77 before these guys pit.
So we had those 2 early cautions. How much fuel do they save under those cautions at this short track? Is that a lot or not really?
It's not enough to make it.
Well, no, but enough to maybe split the, right now to split the race. But does that matter if you come in and you can make it halfway, and then can you make it if there's no more cautions? If you go all the way, it's going to be interesting
I
with
think-
what happens here.
It's going to be more tires than it is because you're going to want
Yeah,
tires
I
at the end.
agree.
And we've seen these guys start to slip and slide around a lot as we saw Ryan Walter get slippery there. I've seen Ethan Thompson start to get sliding around a little bit with the tires wearing off. So if you're going to go 75, you're going to want the fresher tires. So I would probably take it as absolutely long as I could, so that way I had the freshest tires at the end.
Yeah, I think everyone with the cautions can split it on fuel. I think you're going to see the guys up front hanging out, and you're going to see the guys in the back trying to get some rubber early on and see who can wax and wane and get the best out of those good years.
Yeah, because I haven't really heard anything as far as how much fuel they can run here, what the fuel run is, but
Well,
obviously
we're
Ethan
halfway now, so
Thompson,
Yeah, they're coming
halfway
up to
right
halfway.
now. So they can obviously make it halfway with 2 cautions at least. I'm not sure if there's any other cautions involved in that. So we'll just have to wait and see. I mean, if they go to lap 80, 81, then I think they're pretty safe to run it out. Green flag the rest of the way.
looks like the 911, the beautiful paint scheme there on Andrew Cowart's car, they have dropped out of the race.
Yep.
Tanner Lee is visiting pit road. Maybe he just needs a break. I didn't see any incident out there or anything, but
Well, he was
good.
he's slipping and sliding. He hit that front. I think just trying to take it out. Just, learning. I mean, you got to learn. You
Yeah.
got to start somewhere, and you're out there just learning. So
Yep.
there
Gotta
we
have
go.
fun. This is the best place to learn. I was in iRacing for 2 months when I joined TDR. I think I had put a message out in one of the forums, and Tommy reached out, and I joined, got in Friday Night Lights, and here I am today, calling races with you guys.
There you go. So it's all about getting out here.
Anyone can join. We'll help anybody be
It's a
better.
fun-
We might
it's-
not help you be faster, but we'll help you be better.
Right?
And that's the thing, though. We got our fast guys, and they're always willing to help. And it's still, you got to hit your marks, have fun. My favorite tagline: "Hit your marks, have fun." But but know how to
Has to
drive
be
the
on a
car
shirt.
and understand the car, and that's what's fun about TDR. That we race all these different leagues. We race the
Yeah,
cup
we do.
cars, race the Xfinities, the trucks. Race some dirt here and there. We race some street stocks, and we got Jay and Andy, the Evolve series. You guys are evolving every 5 weeks, isn't that right? And going to a different car and gonna eventually get to the trucks. It's such a fun league. I'm glad I found this family. This family has helped me out a lot in my life, and we need more good people out there to help join us and come out and have fun with us. That's what we do.
Absolutely. And I think 2 of our most popular leagues, that Tuesday Trucking Series and the Saturday Morning Legend Series.
Yeah.
The post-race reports that come from Jim and Aaron are top-notch. It's like reading a newspaper.
Yeah, it is. I've been trying to actually try to follow what they're doing, actually do that with the Xfinity League I was in. It's just like, how do you guys write this book? I can barely write 2 sentences.
we all have different strengths and weaknesses.
Right?
Yeah,
Jim
mine is
wants to
not
know who
writing.
we picked tonight. So Jim chimes in. Who do we pick tonight? Dustin, I believe you picked who'd you
Chuck
pick tonight?
McDonald.
Chuck McDonald.
Andy.
Yeah, Tanner Lee.
Yep.
Andy.
Ooh, boy.
Ooh,
Right in front of the
Andy
leader.
Shane. Oh, jeez, look at. Oh my goodness, that was a heart-pounding moment. So
Well, that's
yeah,
gonna woe Ethan Thompson up a little bit.
right.
That'll slow down the
69
lap
to
time.
go.
But yeah,
See that gap dropping.
I was Chuck McDonald. Our Shaner was Andy was
Andrew
Bisnet,
Bisnet. I went with Paul Vosberg.
and Tommy was Tanner Lee.
So
Quit
there's our
picking
picks,
drivers.
right?
They always end
And-
up towards the back when I pick them.
I just want to remind you guys that as we sit, this will be a 2-win streak for me.
That's as you said. There's a lot
you
of race
said.
left. There's 67 laps to go, Andy.
Right.
That's another reminder.
I
is that
think-
I won last week, and I owe you guys. a
I think
penalty.
I think we should make a rule that you cannot pick the same name driver as you are. No comeback out of
Hey.
that.
Right? No, I'm telling you,
They're
66
they're
to
in
go.
cahoots. It's the Andrew Illuminati.
Well, they do have a little side bet going in on gas and go. We won't get into that, but they got little side bets going on. I think these guys have something going on.
Is Andrew Cowart part of your gang too?
He is a cohort.
That little bobble didn't really bother Ethan. He got back going, running out in 19.99. He's still running hard. I mean, 65 to go. These guys aren't pitting, so obviously they can make it to the end on one more stop. Just the
Right.
question is on who's going to take the gamble and who's going to come in first.
Yeah, and they're gonna have to make that stop. Like I said, whoever's up front, if it comes down to a rubber game, they're pitting last. The guys behind are looking for any advantage they can get to try to catch up.
Right? Tanner Lee has been just just see him go around again down that front stretch. He's just having a tough time tonight, guys. I mean, he's got to get up off of that bottom line.
Well, and in his
Um,
defense, being a newer driver, I mean, we talked about how hard this track is. A lot of
Right.
the drivers weren't happy with the track car combo. Um, and we talked about the fast guys. The fast guys actually had like a pretty consistent complaint about corner entry. So it's not an easy track to drive, and you have someone very new to the whole iRacing thing trying to do one of the hardest things you can do, and that's take a next gen out here at Nashville Fairgrounds.
right?
But major props for trying.
Yeah.
No, we give him
hats
major
off.
props, and we love to see him out here. Ooh, he gets it
Gets
high
into the
there.
wall.
So,
It-
yeah, it's,
you know,
he's having a tough time getting a handle of it tonight.
You know, you guys were alluding to it earlier as well as, you know, it's hard to get on the brakes. I think Tommy was talking about like slowing down. I think Ethan's coming into pits here. But
Yeah, Ethan's coming down.
but you know how hard it is to get into the corners and how hard you got to hit the brakes. You don't want to lock him up, you know. There might be just a little setup thing that he's got to learn and just learn how to drive the car, and you just got to have fun. And that's what these guys are out here doing every Monday night, and they would love to see more people out here, you know,
Yep.
racing with more vets and first responders racing them. So if you are one, come out and join these guys. I talked to a guy the other day, and he's like, "Well, I don't want to mess up a season." It's like, no, come out and have fun and join these guys. These guys would love to have you guys out on track.
Sure, they're helping him out right
Those
now.
points are there for anybody who shows up and earns them. You ain't messing nothing up.
No, we're all there to have fun and just do what we do. Tommy's usually upside down. Andy's usually wrecking me.
Yeah, I can't.
Jay, I
drive.
see him on track every now and then. I mean,
Right? I mean,
But like
Uh,
speaking in the TDR spirit and going back to Tanner after this broadcast, I'm gonna make a point to go walk down pit road and hey Tanner, how you doing, buddy?
yeah.
You know, start the conversation for him so that we start talking about it and he gets a bunch of good pointers from all the guys that are hanging out down there.
yeah, I mean, that's just it. You got to just show up. You got to race. I'm sure these guys are talking to Tanner. You know what I mean? I'm sure he's frustrated. I'm sure he's talking to him, and they're telling him, you know, just go out there, run. This is what you need to do. Maybe help him out a little bit, back the corners up a little bit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I'm sure they're helping him out there and trying
Yeah.
to get through the race. And
I've
trying
noticed
to, you know.
a lot of guys are afraid to ask the questions too. They don't
Yeah.
want to feel like they're the new guy or like, hey man, can you help me out? You know, they don't want to feel like they're bugging somebody, and like it's not bugging anybody. I like to go down there, start those conversations, get the guys talking. Once they get to talking, the amount of information you can learn just being a fly on the wall.
Yep, that's
So-
for sure.
As we're talking about that, I'm watching these guys pit, and right now, the only two that have not pitted in my eyes would be Andrew Bisnet, and now Rawlings does come in. But all these other guys have pitted, but Ethan's out there with fresh rubber right now. Looks like he's ticking away coming up the field. But it looks like Bisnet is the only one that has not pitted yet.
Yeah, Ethan's
Yeah,
gonna
that
be,
would be a bad
he
time for
stays-
a caution.
If he stays out too long,
He's
that's
going to
gonna
lose
be a
it.
It's going to be a bad decision.
well,
Right.
a lap here is about 20 seconds. Depending on the gap between, well, no, because Andrew's got to have to come in for fuel.
He's going to have to come in, yes. Well, to our knowledge, he's got to come in. But
Right,
we all
to
know
our
how well Bisnet
This-
saves gas.
At this point, if he cannot make it at this point, he is losing ground to Ethan every single lap with Ethan being on fresh rubber.
Yeah, we'll see where they're at. Is Bisnet's going to cross the start-finish line just about here.
1,000. two
Ethan
1,000,
is in turn 3.
1,000, 4 1,000, 5 1,000, 6 1,000.
He's going to have to get the
7.
pit road. He has to get some fresh rubber on that thing. Oh,
I mean-
Chuck McDonald is around on the backstretch. So Chuck McDonald got around.
That should draw a yellow, I think.
Nobody's gotten
Well,
into him,
well-
but Ryan Walter got into the.
Oh.
That should have been a caution. I don't know why that was.
And
And
Cochran
same
hits
with
the wall.
Cochran didn't get in, and no caution was called. That
There it
there
is.
caution
There it
is
is.
out.
There
So
it
caution
is.
is out. So guess what, guys? Guess who? Oh
This
man,
makes
that's
this
why I gotta put
interesting. You
even.
got Bisnet that has not pitted up a lap on the field. These guys will get wave around.
Oh
But
man.
I'm looking at it right now, looking at the scoreboard. We'll see how it tallies out. But only Ethan and Brian Boyd would actually wrap around and be on the lead lap.
Yeah, that's
Looks like
Man,
there's a few
so
cars that got involved, and Brian Boyd might have been a part of it, as I see some sparks coming out of his car as he's coming around.
yeah, Brian Boyd was involved. Chuck McDonald was involved.
I can see
Robert Cochran was involved.
several guys are there are cursing that untimely yellow, and there are quite a few guys out there that are like, "Yes, thank you."
I know
Right.
one driver. I know one driver that's for sure, and that is Biznett. But man, he put a hurting on that field right now. That's definitely gonna strengthen Andrew Shaner's chance of winning for 2 weeks in a row on on the TDR friendly bets that we have going on up here.
And I still have to come up with your punishment for the first one.
You gotta be nice.
Yeah, I didn't do anything harsh to you, like like spicy peppers.
We're not
or-
eating ghost peppers.
No, we're not eating ghost peppers.
That's still my favorite thing I ever did.
No ghost pepper, just a Carolina Reaper.
Just a Carolina
No,
Reaper.
Carolina.
I've actually eaten one of them before. It's not fun.
So, oh my goodness, we got a lot of stuff going on right now. As we got 49 to go.
And how about West Side Rentals and Sales down there on the aluminum boards on the inside?
So
Who knows about that company other than people outside of the Nashville area? But like, look at the amount of marketing they're getting off of iRacing.
So I'm looking at Brian Boyd. We see those
Yeah,
sparks.
no.
Looks like he has some left front damage. Is he trying to get the wave around and then pit and hopefully get another caution, or what do you think's going through his
I
mind?
think
right
He's
we'll see him
coming down
back in.
now.
Yeah, he's coming
He's
down now.
coming down now.
He had to
'Cause you
stay
don't
up to
know.
drive around Biznett when he came in.
You just don't know in this league. You could get 3 cautions in a row and then nothing.
If
like
he
we
has
just
not
saw.
used his fast repair, he will be the only car 1 lap down. Well, Bradley Hunt joins in. I think he got a wave around. We'll see what happens here. This could be a fun battle for waiver rounds and stuff coming up if another caution comes. We're on caution 3.
Slides through his pit stall there. That's one of those mistakes we've seen a lot of the best out there make.
Yeah, we've
Getting
seen that
getting woed up in
week
the
in and week
pits.
out.
Looks like Bradley Hunt and Captain Paul Vosberg are going to get the waiver rounds here. So that'll put them beat Bradley
Yeah,
Hunt
no,
1 lap
Ethan-
down, Vosberg 2.
Absolutely, I agree with Jim. Jim thinks Ethan will come back and don't count him out and come on Ethan from Sharon. And Robert Strauss chimes in. Hey, Robert, how are you, bud? So Andrew stretches fuel and gained an advantage. That's a real surprise. Sarcasm. So yeah, absolutely. Well, we knew that if anybody was going to take it out, Paul Vosberg's around on that top side there under caution. Not sure what happened there.
The competition's tight under yellow.
Yeah, no.
No.
I think he was going to take his wave around and just got loose. He hit the gas
A little too
alarm.
hard
It
on
looked
the
the
like.
gas.
outside
a little
wall.
too
That's
low
not.
here.
Ooh, that's not good.
Hey, don't look too bad
Ah.
though. Still on track. We'll get
All
going.
right,
We're
yeah,
gonna go
but
back
now we
green.
got.
Sorry, Paul. Maybe next week.
He's trying to get his wave around yet, so
Yeah, he's still got to take the wave
Yeah.
around, get back lined up.
they might have
hopefully they'll
extended.
extend
They
that.
might have extended the yellow 1 lap.
I would hope that they would extend the for that.
They're just
you know,
I'd like
coming
to
just
along.
nominate that for TDR funniest moment of the year.
As it looks like the lights are off on the pace car, so it does not look like they're going to extend. And
On the plus side,
No.
Paul Vosberg's going to have a massive amount of momentum here coming to the.
So I'm looking at, we got Andrew Biznett setting up in first right now. Ethan got the wave around to get that lap back, so he's got to start at the end of the longest line, which isn't too far back. He was running fast. This could be fun watching him trying to get through the pack.
look who you also got up there. You got Devin Zimmerman, who's got 1 lap back now. He just needs 3 more, so
Pace
it can
pace
happen.
car's off.
We're going.
And Biznett gets that another jump on the field.
Just past 2/3 of the race here. Biznett way out front.
We're gonna
Right.
watch Ethan fight through the pack here, I think.
Well,
Yeah,
he
we see
Came
some
up pretty
lappers
hurry,
here.
so he's already got 3. He already got around 3. He's got just 2 or 3 to go to catch back up to Andrew Biznett. And we know he's quick. He's done it before.
Got a couple lappers chasing Andy there too. Looking to complete that pass, but in Ethan Thompson's eyes, they're just a rolling roadblock at the moment.
Yep.
And he's been known to come back. So I mean, there's as we battle back here, I guess it's a Mission 22 guys are all lined up as we've got Bradley Hunt and Ryan Boyd back there. And they're just kind of riding around, and Up front, we got Andrew Bisnet got that nice little jump in front of everybody, and Ethan Thompson's just chasing them down right now as we're watching that battle. It's just got to get around Devin Zimmerman, who
Right
had that
now,
early,
Devin
early back.
Zimmerman and Christopher Rawlings are Biznet's best friend if they can hold him up a little bit. With
Absolutely.
40
You
to
see
go.
Ethan Thompson, he's got to be almost getting a little frustrated. I mean, it's their race to run. I believe they're actually running for position outside of trying to get a lap back the hard way. But Ethan's got to be looking at these guys going, come on, 40 to go. I got to go, guys.
Well, he's still got plenty of time to get it done. 40 laps may not seem like a lot, but
They tick away pretty quick. We had those 2 early cautions, and then when hey Jay, you said that hey we're at 40 laps in. It's like, well, that went fast. It was like 5 minutes.
Yeah, it seems like 5 minutes ago there was an hour left of racing, and now here it is crunch time. And Ethan Thompson does sort out Devin Zimmerman. Devin Zimmerman may have gave that up.
yeah, I think Devin
Say
went
Rollins
high
is
to let
gonna
Yeah,
him go
looking,
by,
you
and
see the
Rollins
highlights
going to let him
here.
go. Yeah.
Rollins gonna let him by here.
Figures
Now
there's
it's
not
just
much they can
chasing
do.
down.
So now the hunt is on from Ethan Thompson to Andrew Bisnet.
Well, we can watch that on the stopwatch. I want to see Devin Zimmerman and Christopher Rollins.
And Devin Zimmerman gets
Devin's
around on
around.
the back stretch, so that's
That's out of the
he's
question.
just that's not good for our points leader tonight. Ethan
Yeah,
Thompson and Andrew Bisnet do have a chance to gain on that position. So.
uncharacteristic performance out of Devin Zimmerman tonight. He's usually very high and tight, doesn't make a lot of mistakes, and we've seen quite a few out of him this evening.
And I think it's just because this track doesn't really, when you think next gen, you don't think of Nashville Fair Grounds.
Whoa, Paul.
Oh,
Paul, hold on there, Paul.
Paul, stay low,
Oh,
Paul. Oh, save it!
ouch.
Oh, man, there's
I think this is the broadcaster's curse. Everybody I go on or we talk about, something
right,
happens.
man.
See
So
Paul Bosberg rolling again. No one else caught up in it, thank goodness.
that's a tough save. Oof.
Ethan Thompson working hard to catch Andrew Bisnet as he gets around Bosberg there.
I'm not going to try this broadcaster's curse again, but we got Bradley Hunt setting P3, running a good race today. He's staying clean. He's out there running some laps. He's having some fun with that nice Mission 22. And
Brian Boyd.
there it is.
He's ooh. Ooh,
Brian
we might have
Boyd,
to go
fourth
blind
position.
and call this as a radio race, guys. We may have to turn this off and let everybody know what's going on.
I think I got to
out
get
there.
off our chase, go back to TV3 and watch these guys.
Well, I was just going to say, Brian Boyd
Man.
not far behind
No, he's
Bradley
right
Hunt
there.
Yeah, there's guys. This is a tough little track. I mean, for these next gen cars. So, ooh,
They're good.
man, it's slippery. It's
I
tight.
can't help but
It's just-
notice Tanner Lee doesn't have any logos on that car yet.
I think we need to get him a sponsor.
Yeah, right?
Nobody's ready to take the chance, but nothing boosts confidence like a sponsor.
Absolutely.
Let's slap a back barbecue on that thing.
Hey, but a big heads up. He is out there. He's hanging with these guys, and
Hey.
he's running the laps and getting the experience.
No, he's doing a great job.
So I don't, you can't really fault the guy too much. He's out there. He's trying to get as much as he can. And like I said, the more laps you run, the more you're going to learn. The more you
As
learn
we
how to
co-
control.
Come down 31 to go, and checking in with the YouTube analytics, we have just hit our peak concurrent viewers. So everybody's tuning in to watch this battle go down. Andrew Bisnet with a healthy lead on Ethan Thompson. Ethan Thompson is ticking off tenths at a time as we see both of them come over the bump, and a little bit of sparks coming out the right side there.
Ethan is just running his line that he had earlier.
Yep.
Right there. And he must not be feeling anything in that steering wheel when he goes over that bump. I don't know how he's doing it.
When
He's the only one that's not going around.
what lap did Ethan pit? Because Bisnet would have the freshest tires on track, but we all saw what was going on as
Ooh, there's Tanner
Tanner
Lee again on
Lee
the
up there.
outside. Oh man.
But we all saw that Ethan has tagged the wall, I think.
Yeah, he just got it loose coming out. He just hung that outside. It looks like.
He's digging hard,
Yeah, a little bit
trying to
loose.
close a good 1 second gap against.
Yeah, it
Andrew
wasn't
Bisnet,
too
who's-
bad.
Yeah, he just tapped it. So
It looked worse live.
Yeah, Andrew Bisnet, no slouch, really making Ethan work for that second on track.
You got the Nashville Twanger, guys. Yeah, from the
Nashville Twanger.
Nashville Twanger. near.
I left my jaw harp in my other trailer.
Let's check out the Brian Boyd Bradley Hunt, two teammates battling for position. Well, Brian Boyd does pass Bradley Hunt.
Yeah, a lap
Yes,
behind
bro.
the leaders, but still a contentious battle going on back here.
You know, they're giving out that good message about Mission 22. We always have Brian or Ryan or Bradley, and they're now giving out that good message of Mission 22. It's a good message to get out, you know, with the Mission 22. They do a good work over there.
Absolutely, got
Right.
three teammates rocking that paint scheme on track.
Love it. Love seeing it.
And there's been a whole bunch of stuff going on out there in the chat. Andrew Shane, we haven't heard from you. Why don't you give us a heads up? What's going out there in the chat?
Oh, let's see. Oh my.
You woke him up from the nap.
Yeah.
Give us the recap, Andy. We're almost 20 to go.
Trask got COVID by Pete.
Saw
Pete's
that
helping Paul tonight. Pete
tell Pete to
subs in
stop.
Paul's car. Ethan will be patient. Robert, I did not think Pete was for hire. Go Brad. Andrew. Well, not the best race I have hoped for. Paul Vosberg talking about his spin there.
It was a
spin of beauty.
It was a healthy
says
spin.
Mr. Trask.
We certainly enjoyed it from up here in the safety of the booth.
So, yeah, lots of chatter going on. Jim and
Ryan Walter comes out of pit and actually tags the wall pretty good, coming out Lewis off of the turn.
Oh,
Bam.
hate that for him. Hate that for him.
He had just missed Ethan by about 6 or 7 car lengths. So if that's what he was aiming for, he missed him.
Yeah. Shame to see that Ryan Brottle beat the night. He was looking really, really good early on.
Yeah, we were talking about how these cars don't race in this, you know, are coming up probably next year. You know, I'm looking forward to the races they have there, but these guys are doing a good job tonight, sticking with this race, having fun out there. As Ethan's slowly dragging Biznet in with 20 to go here, you know, back about 9 or just under a second. It's gonna be an amazing finish, I think, guys.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
20 to go, and we see Ethan Thompson now reeling in. He's got pretty much got that magnet on the back of Biznet's car. Sees what line he's running, and Ethan Thompson has not strayed from his line all night. The line that he was pretty much dominant all night in, and slowly reeling him in as he's now within to about a half a second. So we should see a battle for the lead here in about 5 or 6 laps. We should see him right on that back bumper. Is he going to give him the old bump and run? Is traffic going to play effect in here? We
Putting
don't
on
know.
a show right on time. I love these guys.
That's right, as we're rolling down. 18 to go now. 18 to go. Andrew Biznet's going to take it high. Ethan Thompson's going to close that gap as he's got that bottom line. He has got that line figured out. He's got something working on that car.
Our producer's trying to give Ethan the
curse.
producer's curse.
Dustin said it earlier. These laps tick off fast, and the time it took Jay to explain the battle going on here for position, as we see Ethan get a little closer, 2 laps had ticked off, and in just the time it took me to say this, another 2 laps have gone by.
It's
Right.
fast. It's fast. It's not like we're at Talladega or anything like that, you know, where we got that minute lap, you know.
That's
40
winding
seconds.
down. We're getting some cheers out of the chat now. Paul Vosberg cheering for Biznet. From the pits, yeah, from the pits.
Yeah, from the pits, he when he hit that wall and took the spin, he's been sitting on pit road, so I'm sure he had quite a few minutes of the required. As now we're coming down with 15 to go. Race is on at Nashville Fairgrounds as we see Ethan Thompson battling out for Andrew Biznet, second and third in points. Our leader in points sits in 6th, so this is not only every point counts, but Ethan Thompson has been on a roll tonight. Very smooth
Both
draw
of them over
here
the
and
bump
putting on
there
a
just-
show.
Whew.
As now he's on the back bumper, closes in within 2 car lanes, going into turn number 3 down at the front stretch. Still remains at 2, but this is where Ethan Thompson has been very strong as his neck goes a little high.
Robert Cochran on fresh rubber with the best seat in the house.
Yeah.
Yeah,
love to be in that
he's
car.
going to
Ooh.
There it is. He's going to do the old bump and run. Gets right to the back. Andrew Biznet slams on the brake. He's going to push him up just a little bit. Andrew Biznet just trying to hold on and maintain that top spot. As once again, Ethan Thompson gets right to that back bumper.
I'm here, boys. I'm here.
Good short track racing. 12 to go. There is nothing left. You got to put it all on the line. These are the only 2 on the lead lap. Battling it out. Brian Boyd, Bradley Hunt for Or third and fourth, Christopher Rowling fifth. But the battle right now, as we roll down with almost 10 to go, Andrew Bisnet takes that bottom line. Ethan Thompson just going to line him up. Try and take that top side away, but can't quite do it. Falls within a car lane. It's just going to come back in.
You know,
Down through 3 and 4. And Bisnet backs up a little bit. Ethan Thompson's going to get up there. It's going to give him the old bump and run this time. No, at the line, it's still just about a car length as these guys are just rolling around here. 10 to go. Dustin.
You know, Bisnet, we were watching him run that high line. He went low. He's taking Ethan's line away. He's forcing Ethan to pass him on the high side, and it's going to be interesting what happens here with 10 to go, coming down to 9 to go. I'm excited to see this finish. You know, did Ethan burn up stuff trying to get to him, being on the older tires? They're not that old, but it's going to be interesting to see. Tommy, bring us in.
Yeah, 9 to go, bumper to bumper. This is the battle we want to see, right? So many of these races, we have the top 1 and 2 kind of sort themselves out, put a zip code between them and the rest of the pack. Here we are going down to the end of the race, our race for the lead. We've seen the bumper being used. We might see the bumper being used here. Coming on the exit of 2. Watch how they both come over this bump on the exit of 2. Both of them just shooting sparks. And Ethan's gaining on that bump. I don't know how he's doing it. Somehow he's using that poor plumbing in the ground to his
There it
advantage.
is.
As he goes
There
to
he
the
goes
inside.
underneath. He's going to grab that inside line as Bisnet either is going to concede or just turn it a little bit of tight. And here we go. Bisnet going to try and take away that top side from Ethan. Cannot quite do it. The pass is made as we've got Ethan Thompson going to take it block that high side. Now Andrew Bisnet now falls back to about 2 car lengths, and the lead now goes to Ethan Thompson. 7 to go. Tommy, go ahead.
I'm hoping Robert Cochran has a big bowl of popcorn in that car. Because over the next 7 laps, even though they tick off quick, it is a lifetime sitting back there, not in P3, but having to watch this battle, not able to make forward progress on the other lap traffic you're racing against. Man, what a show these two are putting on. It looks like Ethan Thompson is sorting Andrew out, maybe putting a bit of a gap on him, exerting some dominance, but we still have 5 laps for Ethan to make a mistake and let Andy catch up.
And we have seen it as these tires, and do not forget, Andrew Bisnet does have the fresher tires. As he went in, he has the last one on pit road during that last round of pit stops, but Ethan Thompson is definitely maintaining that line, and he has just been committed to that line to run it all night. He has figured his place out, and he has definitely proven it by driving from the back once again to the front to take over that top spot. 4 to go at the line at this time, and I don't see any bobble at all from that number 9.
No, there'll be 3 to go this time by. And speaking of 3, look at Brian Boyd, 3, sitting there in P3. Came in, didn't have the best performance of his career that we've seen so far, but heck of a job keeping up there for the podium over his teammate Bradley Hunt.
Absolutely, he's doing a great job out there, and he is one of the newer comers to the league as we just joined this season and has been coming out and been strong everywhere that we have gone. So he's definitely one that went from bleachers to now sitting on track driving. It's great to see him out there as we see that number 9 just pull out above that 69 of Andrew Bisnet now. Just maintaining about 3 car lengths as Andrew just overdrove that corner coming out of turn number 2, and that's just going to open up that lead even more. Right now, sitting at about 4 or 5 car lengths as they cross the line. Last lap as they take it down turn number 1.
Saw Andy get down in the apron there, just kind of searching for whatever he can find.
And we got lap traffic that's coming up here right now, so could that be a factor with Bradley Hunter is going to move out of the way? Nope, out of turn 4, Ethan Thompson takes Nashville Fair Grounds 150. Congratulations, Ethan Thompson. What a run to come from the back yet again to the front.
That?
What a race.
And Andrew Bisnet brings it home second. Put on one heck of a performance. Held off for the lead until lap 8 before he got past there on the end there.
Heck of a battle up front there.
Brian Boyd, 3rd. Bradley Hunt, nice run, bringing it up in 4th. Christopher Rowling, 5th. Devin Zimmerman had a tough night out. He's in 6th. Robert Cochran, 7th. Paul Vosberg, 8th. Ryan Walter, 9th. Chuck McDonald, 10th. Tanner Lee in 11th. And Andrew Cohort went out early in 12th. And that is your final field for tonight.
Whoa!
Congratulations, Ethan.
Trying to do some burnouts, get a little victory slap.
Well, that's one way to pat him on the back and say, good job, guy. As here we go. We got another one coming up to give him a little bit of a shove. So
Ethan's like, I didn't even get to burn out.
Right? Hit your marks and have fun.
As the left wheel is locked up. I don't know if we're going to get to see any burnouts tonight, but... Oh, Demolition Derby, teammates.
Little after...
The after race TDR fun.
Extracurricular activities.
Ethan's trying to go, he just can't. I see the car bouncing.
So much for the burnout as Ethan Thompson has nowhere to go. But bonus demolition derby time here at Nashville Fair Grounds as these guys are just tearing it up and taking
Well,
it
hey,
out of here.
that's short track racing. Hit your marks, have fun, like Dustin says. These guys are having fun. There's no penalties. No one's gonna get hurt. And I think they're probably letting out a little bit of that pent up aggression they've been feeling all night, battling these guys door handle to door handle.
And it was a tough track tonight. So tough customers bring home the tough wins, and Ethan Thompson proves that he's tough enough to bring it out here. I think we should get him up here and give him the old congratulatory welcome victory lane, bud.
Yeah, get him up here a little early. He doesn't have any burnouts to do, so we can go ahead and interview first place first, right where he belongs. Ethan, Tommy up in the booth. You got a read on us?
Yeah, I got you.
Hey man, what was it like those last 10 laps trying to chase Biznett down?
That was fun. For a while, I really didn't think that I was gonna get him just because we were running pretty equal lap times for the majority of that last run, but I managed to find something on the bottom that I honestly hadn't had the whole race, but it definitely worked to where I could get back to him. And then obviously, I heard you guys talk about it yourselves. He saw where I was running and he started to run down too. And,
We gotta ban TVs in these next gen cars.
Yeah,
Distracted
no more
driving.
TVs.
So I'm curious, and I plan to ask the other drivers. When I was walking pit road, a lot of guys talked about that bump on the exit of 2. You seem to be running over that bump, shooting sparks, and handling it just fine. How upsetting was that bump? Were you using that to your advantage to get some bite out of the car at all?
I think I was using it to my advantage because if you are really careful with the throttle, it will help the car turn a little bit if you have the nose pointed just right.
And that's what we saw. I mean, you had a pretty consistent line the entire night, and you were just pulling away. And during that last, after you came out, started in the back and drove your way to the front, and you just didn't really waver too much from that line that you were running. So, did you try outside line? Did you try things, or you were just sticking with what was working? Because it's whatever it did. I mean, that was a great run.
I mean, when I got close to Biznett and he started to run my line down at the bottom, I experimented a little bit with running a little bit higher, but I had basically burnt up my tires trying so hard to get back to him to that line. Just I was way too tight trying to run that line, so I was just gonna have to stick to my line and hope that he would maybe miss his braking point, which he ended up missing it that one time, so I could get underneath of him. I figured at the very least I could give him a bump and run if he didn't mess up. So
we saw you thinking that.
Well, congratulations. Welcome back, Charities Victory Lane. Why don't you shout out a few sponsors and get you back down there to celebrate?
yeah, as always we got McConey Setup Shop as our main sponsor on the car. Got Thompson Drone Works and we got Back Charities and of course Tyler Daniels Racing. We always have you guys on the car every week.
Oh, that's essential. No, a heck of a performance out there tonight. Now, Ryan Shelton probably won't be with us for the rest of the season due to some personal issues. Devin Zimmerman had a rough night. Great points night for you tonight. I don't know. Do you guys have numbers? Would this actually put him up there?
I do not have
I
numbers.
think
That's going to bring it closer, that's for sure.
I wanna
If not, it's a
think-
big leap.
I want to say I was like 7 points behind him last time I checked, so I might be in front of him now, but I'm not positive. If not, it's going to be really close.
It's gonna be really tight. I think if you're not there, it's a big leap, man. So doing good, showing up every night. Being an all-star, holding up the McConey sponsorship that you got through season 5. Heck of a performance, man. Congratulations.
Appreciate it, guys.
Absolutely.
Go enjoy your victory. Get down there, celebrate with those guys, and keep up the good work, man. Awesome job.
Let's get him down there.
We'll just say that I enjoyed it a little bit more if Cochran hadn't ruined my my burnout, man. ran right into me, and I couldn't even burn.
Well, look, you got the interview done a little early. You can thank Robert Cochran for the extra sleep you'll get tonight.
Yeah.
No, man. No, great job. I'll get you back with the drivers to celebrate whatever the trophy is for Nashville Fairgrounds. Like where the track you get the grandfather clock and the one where you get the lobsters. What do you get when you win at Nashville?
I know it's a guitar
Like
at
a-
this super speedway. I'm
Super
not sure what
speedway.
it is here, so
Like a funnel cake, maybe?
maybe I don't know. I don't
It
know
is a
what
fairground.
it is. Yeah, it is a fairground. So we'll give him a corn dog and a funnel cake, and we'll give him a couple of tickets to the Ferris wheel next time he's here, and we'll call it good. There you go.
Let's see if we
So.
can get old Andy Bisnet coming up a little short of the victory, but put on a heck of a performance those last 10 laps. Andy,
right.
or Andrew, or Andy, or Bisnet.
Busy.
There's two
Andy
Andys here.
busy. Yeah.
Busy. Tommy up in the booth. You got a read on us, buddy?
I got you guys. How you doing tonight?
Doing good, man. Not the performance you wanted, but a heck of a finish. Heck of a run those last 2 laps putting on the show. I asked Ethan about it because it was a talk on pit road before the race. That bump on the exit of 2, what was it like to you? And do you agree with me that somehow Ethan Thompson was using it to his advantage?
You know, he said that he found something that was working, so it wouldn't surprise me if that was it. I was I found it interesting that the more the tires got worn, there was like a little spot in there, like maybe 30 laps in, to where it wasn't bad. It almost didn't affect me at all. I was trying to stay up, like above or right on that first white line. I didn't want to go too high, but I also it just worked for me. I like the super bottom line I usually like to hold was not really possible tonight. But you know, when we had the caution, I saw that we were gonna have like 40 laps left. I'm like, all right, well that might be just enough for me to keep my tires decent enough, and I think I was off by about 8 laps, but it was still good. It was still a really
Well,
good finish. I'm happy with that.
my final question before I throw you to the wolves here in the booth: how excited were you when that caution came out and you were a lap ahead of everybody?
It was great because I knew I was gonna have to come in the pits in about 2 laps, 2 or 3 laps. So, you know, it's you never know how those things are gonna happen. You know, you hope for caution. Sometimes you get lucky. Sometimes you're on the worst end of it. It just worked out for me this time, but you know, I wasn't going. I'll throw the secret out. Why not? I wasn't going to take tires. I was just taking enough fuel to get to the end. But
Sounds like you.
yeah,
I don't know if that's a
just the usual,
secret
just the usual.
anymore.
But no, it was. I honestly had no idea where I was going to finish tonight. I would have been happy with it. I'm just, top 5 was good. We led some laps though, and we got. I got to thank Boyd. He threw a practice together earlier on. I think it might have been Thursday or Friday. I can't remember which day, but that me, him, and Ethan all jumped in to try to find something, and I mean, it worked. He pointed out that the 3 of us that were in there managed to finish up in the top 3. So
Hey,
Absolutely.
practice pays off, you know.
yes,
It
especially
really
especially
does.
when on a combination, that you may never see again. You know.
Well, hey, heck of a points finish. You got a W under your belt this season. I think you're going to be sitting pretty here points wise.
So 1-2 finish. Hey, you won Daytona. We're off a week, so technically this is on your return week. You have a second, so that's a 1-2 finish.
Yes, hey, listen, I'll take it. I think my schedule's relatively good. Monday's coming up. You never know when something might happen though. But
Yeah,
we'll
I,
keep
I
trucking.
missed it too. I saw you weren't going to be there, and I was like, you know what? I'm not even showing up for this one.
I was able to watch in a little bit of it though, so I was very happy about that.
I was too. I chimed in for about 3 minutes.
Right.
I just want to chime in real fast and thank Mr. Namesake for getting me my second win in a row in the TDR Vets First Responders League Booth Pick'em
Very nice.
challenge.
There you go.
It's got a name now.
But we made the rule where you can't pick the same name that you are. We made that rule for
Right.
next week.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
I got you.
Yeah.
Oh, I mean, he's Andy, I'm Andrew. It's technically not the same, you know.
Well, there was a third Andrew in the session tonight, and your little
Right.
gang is getting a little too dissident.
Right.
Oh, boy. That's a good point. There are more of us. We're multiplying now, so no.
There you
are.
go.
Well,
No, but man,
Andy-
that was a good run.
That was a great run.
Led laps. You really proved that you're strong. Top contender going into the season. Gained in some
Without a doubt.
points tonight. Why don't you give a shout out to your sponsors that brought you here?
Big shout out. I know you guys do give a shout out to him as well too, but Jeff McConey and McConey Setup Shops, yeah, everything that they do for not just TDR, iRacing in general. I really, their setups are top. Let me tell you this way. I've used them in the official races that I've run, and I can tell you the driver himself is not necessarily getting better. The setups definitely help though. When you can get up there and they're good on fuel, they're good on tires, they're good on horsepower, they're good on getting through the turns, which I just did Mid Ohio, finished top 5. Was not planning on that at all. But big shout out to Jeff and the Maconi setup shops. I really appreciate everything they do for TDR and iRacing in general.
Yeah, we've been giving them a shout out every broadcast for a long time, and now you know.
Yes. Yes.
And now
Absolutely.
you know.
The
Their
product is
setups,
real.
your victories, right?
All right. All right, we're gonna shoot you back down there so you can celebrate with the guys. Got to talk to a couple more people before we end up wrapping up tonight. But congratulations on bringing it home second. Glad to have you back out there. It's good to see you, and keep it up, man. Good
All
job.
right. Thanks. Thank you guys as well too. Can't wait to watch this replay tomorrow.
Yeah, it's our
You
pleasure,
got it.
man.
Yeah,
Thank you for
absolutely,
the
our
show
pleasure.
and thank you for your service.
All righty.
All right, let's get Andy back with the driver so he can take a big bite out of the grandfather banjo or whatever we do here at Nashville.
It's a banjo. I heard it's a banjo. So they get the guitar, the big track, and the banjo at the other one.
Well,
So now we
okay.
got to find a dirt track that's going to give away a little mandolin, and we could have ourselves a bluegrass concert out here.
Well, I'm going to get Boyd out up here coming in
Okay.
P3. He didn't get to take the guitar home or the banjo home
Or
or whatever they
banjo.
give away at Nashville. Hey, Brian, Tommy up in the booth. You got a read on us, buddy?
Yes, sir.
Hey, man. Good finish on the podium, right? You ran hard. I know you practiced a lot. Andrew gave you a shout out for a practice session. So the bump in turn 2. How much did practice help navigate that particular part of the track?
I was only able to get through it because I was slow in the beginning. My thought process was I knew that bump was going to bite me, and I just kept it on my mind the whole time. But the practice helped me stay aware, if you will, situational awareness. And I didn't want to spin the car. I didn't want to do anything to damage my car myself. So I didn't want to bury my own hole. So I just decided to ride in the back, go down the lap. I was fine with that. I was watching the laps, so I knew I could get my lap back if I could just stay out longer than them. But I didn't expect BizNet to do the same thing.
Well, and Andrew pointed out he thanked you for that practice session that you hosted earlier in the week to help everybody out, and then everyone that was in that practice session got pretty good finishes tonight, and I think that's a proof positive that practice works.
Yes, sir. Absolutely. It's one thing I can definitely thank the Army for. Rehearsal, rehearsal, rehearsal.
Right? Practice.
You can't go complete something without doing the dry rehearsals first.
Yeah, looking good in P3, man. You got some good points. You want to give a shout out to some of the folks on your car there?
Absolutely. Again, following BizNet, man, I got to put out a special thank you to Jeff Maconi for sponsoring me for the season. Again, the setups that they produce is second to none. I see people asking all the time on Facebook, on the iRacing, on their page for recommendations, and I'm like, hands down, go to Jeff Maconi. Go to Maconi Setup Shop.
I do the same thing. Just tag Jeff, be like, hey, check this guy out.
Yeah.
Because he's the best, right? He stands behind his product, customer service, second to none. You guys that are sponsored have got to experience that. And as much as we don't want this to be the Jeff Maconi show, the guy does tremendous work in the community.
Yes, sir. He helps so many people out, and not even just on iRacing. Like I was having a conversation with him earlier in the week, and he was going to Nashville Fair Grounds here in a couple weeks to help someone with a real car at the track.
Well, hopefully our next TDR track days, we might get to touch base with him over in North Carolina.
That'd be awesome. That would be real awesome.
It would.
Then I got to put a big thank you out to Mission 22 for allowing myself, Ryan Walters, and now Bradley Hunt to run the Mission 22 sponsor as our primary sponsors for all 3 cars. The more eyes, the more billboards we can take up, even though they're moving billboards, the more we can take up, the more people are going to ask what that 22 is.
Yeah, as many cars as it takes to bring that number down.
Absolutely.
That's it.
You'll have to go back and look at the replay, but probably could get a good screenshot at some point during the race with you 3 racing next to each other.
Yeah, you got a good promo coming off for the Mission 22.
Somewhere in the first third of the race, all 3 cars were together jockeying for position. I was like, somebody get your cameras ready.
I heard about it on the restart. It was I was in 3rd, Brad was in 5th, and Ryan was in 7th.
Yeah, it doesn't matter where you were. The screenshot looks 1, 2, 3 to me.
Yep.
Oh, there you go.
No,
No.
I got something quick for
Yeah.
Brian here. Unrace related, but TDR family related. So you had an opportunity to attend track days and be part of the TDR family. I want to give you this opportunity. I don't want to spoil your fun or any of that. Give you this opportunity to maybe tell a short story about maybe some shenanigans that happened between you and maybe another vet driver.
Yeah, me and Tanner Lee. He was lighting a Roman candle, and I was secretly lighting a smoke bomb. as soon as as soon as all his attention went to that Roman candle, I grabbed the handful of his pocket, snatched it open as wide as I could, and shoved that smoke bomb down in his pocket. He was spinning in circles, shooting everybody with the Roman candle.
I forgot all about that smoke bomb, but Tanner, he wasn't even shooting the Roman candles at people. He was just pointing it at the ground or letting the ground decide who it hit.
Right. Hey.
Oh, yeah, that was pretty good. And then Tommy Abear tackling Dakota. That was pretty priceless too.
I'm pretty proud of that moment. I knocked his shoe off.
Yeah, you probably helped him break his ribs over the weekend.
Probably softened them up. Yeah.
No, no.
No.
It's funny. Dakota posted the pictures from the hospital where he got T-boned in that figure eight race. So I posted the picture where I tackled him, and I was like, "Dang, you got T-boned twice in one weekend."
That's
Kind of terrible of me, but everyone knows us race car drivers are tougher than dirt. So
that's
Right.
another person I want to put a shout out to is Dakota. I hope he's doing better, and I wish him well on a speedy recovery.
he is. He gave me some updates. He's sore and beat up, but he's okay.
That's good.
All right. Well, good. Congratulations on that third. Obviously, practice made pretty much close to perfect because you got your podium out there tonight. You've been running really strong out there, but we're going to let you get down there and celebrate with the rest of the guys tonight. Got a
Yes,
couple
sir.
more people to talk to, and
And
we'll
a special thank you to you guys for what you
oh,
guys
it's
do
our
for us.
Oh,
pleasure.
pshaw, it's our pleasure.
This is our pleasure. We come out
Best
here.
job in iRacing.
Yeah. We
We
got to
had
watch
more
a
fun
pretty
than you
fun
guys.
race.
But without you guys, we don't get eyes on us. We don't get eyes on the league and the stuff that Back Charities does, because I got them on my car too. So I got to thank you guys as well. But
No,
the stuff
go
that you
ahead.
guys do for veterans, I know a little bit of a shot that you did for someone. That stuff's huge, man. That's life changing. Having that strong support system.
Hey, little bit of something, right? We want to be the support system. If we can help above and beyond that, absolutely. But our thing is doing this thing for you guys to come together and help each other heal each other.
That's right.
That's really what it's all about.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Absolutely.
All right, well, we're gonna get you sorted out. Thank you for the show. Thank you for the service. Go on down there and party. I'll be walking pit road a little bit later.
All right. Appreciate you guys. You guys have a good night.
Take
You
care,
too.
Brian.
Later,
Have a
bud.
good week.
Oh, he's one of the good ones, man. I met him at track
Yes.
days. He's the real deal. He really is.
Absolutely.
Single father, 3 kids, very busy guy. Still find some time to put in some track time and hang out with these other veterans. So big shout out to Brian Boyd for hanging out with us. Who do you guys want next? We got
I
Paul
think we should
Vosberg.
bring up Tanner Lee
Yeah,
if he's still down there, and we'll try and
Well,
talk to him. And I know that YouTube
he
had shouted
is
out.
he has cut off his radio communications. But
Oh, he's cut off his call. Okay.
yeah, I was hoping to walk Pick Road and get the guys talking and try to get him some pointers. But
All right. Well, if Captain Paul Vosberg is out there, we can bring Captain up here and get his thoughts on tonight. I know it was probably not what he wanted, but we can get it.
oh, I mean, I think he's in the running for TDR funniest moment of the year. Paul, Tommy up in the booth. You got a read on us, buddy? Hey, Paul, Tommy up in the booth. You got a read on us? All right, selective hearing. That's fine. That's fine. I'll get him sorted back to the drivers, and he can.
Okay. Well, we tried to bring him up.
Maybe he doesn't want to talk about funniest moment of the year
Maybe,
nomination.
right? I mean, he may be on the nomination.
Maybe he's working on a campaign poster.
Yeah, maybe.
Maybe. But we got any other
Bradley Hunt P4, yeah.
Yeah, we can bring Bradley up here. Yeah.
Get Brad dialed in. Spent a lot of time jockeying around teammates. Hey Brad, Tommy up in the booth. You got a read on us?
Hey, what's going on, fellas?
Had a blast watching you guys run. I know it was a lot of work down there. Not the finish you were looking for. Still top 5, good points. What was it like out there jockeying with your teammates, especially in those little tricky areas of the track?
Right?
Quite different out there. I know a lot of people were skeptical about this track and car combination.
Oh yeah.
But I mean, when Andrew set up the schedule, sometimes it's a good idea to, throw a couple jokers out there.
Yeah, and I think if it
Well,
really shows off when people practice it, right? You
Oh
go
yeah,
out,
definitely.
you don't like it, okay, run some laps and get better at it, because everyone comes out and has to face the same circumstances.
Yeah, that is true.
but you could call it a joker, or you could call it visionary because they're actually talking about bringing the next gens to this track in futures. Starting next year, I think they're discussing bringing it back on the schedule. So maybe it's a visionary thing for these guys, huh?
All right, so before anybody makes money off it, I would like to coin the term
I ain't making
biznary.
any. Yeah, visionary? Yes, visionary.
No, biznary.
Visionary.
BIS.
Visionary?
Visionary.
Visionary?
It's when
Visionary.
Andrew Biznett predicts the future.
Yep, visionary.
It's
Coined
very
it here.
visionary. There
All
you go.
royalties come to me.
All right, copyrighted Scoot Night. Write it down. Somebody mark it tonight at what time is it? 10:03 Eastern Time.
Yep,
We
yep.
term the point visionary.
I'll make sure to mail it to myself so I can have the poor boys copyright.
There you go.
but Brad, being out there tonight talking about Andrew saying it's a visionary that they're talking about doing this. Can you imagine doing this in real life?
No.
How about? Yeah, come on,
No.
it'd be fun.
That's. I was about to say, is their pit road even big enough to hold that many cars?
Well, we'll find out.
Well, you figure by the time they come here, there's going to be a lot of updates, kind of like they'd have to do update North Brooksboro.
Yeah.
They would update here as well because they'd add more seating. There would definitely be more, probably
Yeah.
wrap that pit road around.
Only
more,
the
so.
bottom 10 have to share pit stalls. No big deal.
Right, so they'd probably extend it out, maybe even go like they do at Martinsville a little bit, so repave it. So, I mean, there's work to be done, but I mean, they're definitely in discussions about bringing it back here.
After watching you guys race here tonight, I'd love to see him actually race here. It'd actually be a fun race to watch.
Yeah, it looked like a lot of fun. It really did. Unmanageable, very difficult, but you guys put on a heck of a performance. I mean, you came on P4. That's nothing to nothing to be ashamed of, right? Like you did a great job out there tonight, despite how difficult it was.
Yeah, I mean, me and my teammate Boyd, we actually both of us gained 7 spots, from where we started. So, I mean, as one of the guys says in TDR, was just position by attrition. So,
Yeah, we know him very well. Well, one of the best by far, for sure.
Right.
Almost McCann territory, but his elevator button doesn't work.
So you're experiencing tightness, looseness, a little bit of both. You were everywhere, nowhere at the same time. What was your feelings out there tonight as far as, just trying to get around the track, feeling it out, tire wear, things like that? How was it?
tire wear didn't seem that bad. It seemed like the longer the green flag stretch went and your tires were able to, get some grip, it was actually better on worn out tires.
Yeah, so loose you had to junk the tires to make it handle right.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
There were some times where it would get tight, I guess through the middle, but I mean, you could just be driving it in too hard, which I think I did that a couple times.
We saw a lot of that on the part of a lot of drivers out there. It was really hard to get the car slowed down on entry, right? You get off so good, you get that great run down the straightaway or the back stretch. It's like, oh yeah, I got to slow down to be fast.
Yep. But
Oh, yeah.
yeah,
You
I
did it.
saw when we were doing our little wave around, me and Paul Vosberg, all of a sudden, like, I guess he hit the gas a little too hard and spun it into the wall. It's like, oh.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
gonna be a nomination for funniest moment of the year, I think.
Oh yeah.
We even
for
got
sure.
video to play back on that.
For sure. It wasn't even a restart. He was just like trying to get his wave around.
Yeah, it's one of those moments,
was-
like the oops moment that you don't really want to be caught on camera doing, and it just so
Yeah.
happened that
I hate to laugh at someone else's expense, but I think everyone here
Yeah.
knows it's all good natured, and that was a funny one. So hopefully Paul is able to laugh at himself a little bit as well.
I can guarantee there is at least 2 guys up in here in the booth that would be laughing if that happened. I would be one of them.
Oh,
if I
for
would've did that,
sure.
I would be laughing at myself so hard. I don't think I get that car straight.
I'd be mad I didn't flip it. I had to live up to expectations. Well, Brad, great job on P4. We want to make sure we came and talked to you. You did a heck of a performance tonight. As always, thank you for the show. Thank you for the service. I'm going to get you back down to the drivers to celebrate with the winners. Oh, that was a mouthful, wasn't it?
Absolutely. Well, I believe next week we are going to
Oh,
Phoenix. Is that
hold on.
Phoenix.
Before you start believing, I believe Tanner Lee has plugged his helmet back in.
Oh,
Oh,
there we go.
oh, we found him on pit road. Okay.
We did, and I wanted to bring Tanner in here just to get a feel for how he felt out there and to make sure we provide some encouragement. Tanner, Tommy up in the booth, you got a read on us, buddy?
Yeah.
So you struggle out there, new to iRacing. You're not the fastest guy. You're doing the right things, kind of getting out of the way and letting people by. And I appreciate you coming out and trying to run this stuff and learn this stuff. How hard was this track for you? Because I know being a new guy, you don't have all the experience. This is an incredibly difficult track
Yeah.
and car combination.
And children are watching, so
Well, it wasn't really hard per se. It was that everyone was so much faster that it didn't matter what I did, I couldn't keep up.
I know that feeling.
Yeah, I think we all do.
right.
Like I ran I think it was lap 16 and 17 or 17 and 18. I ran a 19 I think it was 19.6 on both of them,
That's quick, man.
Mm-hmm.
and they were still leaving me. Like
Yeah.
Right.
So around this track, a 19 flat is like a really, really, really good time. I would say most of the guys out there were probably running like 19.2, 19.3s. But that puts you right in the territory, man. Half a second back isn't that far.
Takes time.
You were looking good. You didn't have the technique, I don't think, but you were looking pretty good out there at times.
So what's it like coming into this league? I know you've only had a couple races under your belt with us. You're kind of new to us, but tell us your feelings about what TDR and how these guys are, whether rallying or supporting. I know you and Brian Boyd have some history there, and,
Hold on,
and
ask him next week because we're gonna rally tonight for sure.
right. But just give us your feelings about coming in and racing with these guys.
it's been a really fun time. Everyone's been really supportive, and they've offered me help. I think my main problem is I don't practice enough. I don't really
Makes perfect.
I don't really have a lot of time to practice these maps. I get maybe like 4 hours a day. I get off at 5, and then I gotta go back to sleep around 9 or 10.
Ooh, yeah,
Because
that's
I
rough.
gotta be up at 5 to get to work at 6 in the morning.
So yeah,
Well-
tough days.
Well, at least you're able to be here on Monday nights and participate, and hopefully get some help from the guys on pit road. Where do you hail from? First responder, veteran?
I was Army Reserve.
So you're in the Army now as a reserveman?
I was.
Oh, okay.
I'm out now.
Okay, so you're a vet.
Yeah.
Army?
Yeah.
Okay.
Good deal.
So, if nobody's going to ask the question, I will.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Okay.
I
Okay.
know what you're asking.
How is the pocket?
Am I wearing those pants right now?
Just check your left pocket. You'll figure it out pretty quick.
I know I did. I reached in to see if it was those pants or not. Oh no, those pants are ruined.
Thank you, Brian.
Yeah.
And did you have fun with your Roman candle?
Did you have fun dodging the Roman candle?
I had fun watching people dodge the Roman candle.
I heard you might have shot a glass door with it.
Yeah, I
did
remember that. Yeah, there was like a big blue turd mark all across Andy's back door. We were like, what is this? Is the window fogging up? Is there separation between the panes? Nope, just some blue turd.
Wow.
Well, that went in my pocket, and I went spinning and like trying to throw it out of my pocket, and
while
He-
holding the
he-
Roman candle.
Well, what was I
Lit.
supposed to do? Just drop it and let it go wherever?
I mean, look, I'm not here to provide your life solutions. I'm just here to watch the fun.
I didn't realize I was pointing at you guys until you guys started jumping around.
Well, we
Oh,
appreciate the workout.
Right?
But no, Tanner, I'm gonna get you sort of back with the other drivers. Appreciate you showing up every night and putting in the effort to try to get up to where these guys are. You got some work to go, but hang out on pit road. I'm gonna come down on pit road after this, and we're gonna get you some help.
Okay.
Okay.
Don't listen to Tommy. You'll just be upside down.
Right?
I'm gonna
What-
teach him. I'm gonna teach him the secrets to flipping a Miata. He can use that in real life too. That's what you get here. Stuff you can use in real life.
Right? Everything that you can use here in real life, but
Well, how
few
about
of
that
us actually-
racing? How about that
Beautiful
racing? man?
race tonight.
Great racing down those last 10 laps between first and second. Ethan
Mhm.
Thompson first, Andrew Bisnet second, Brian Boyd third. Ton of fun up here doing interviews post race.
Yeah.
Right.
And Christopher Rawlings fifth, Devin Zimmerman sixth. Tough night tonight for Devin. Uncharacteristically seeing him in the wall quite a few times. Robert Cochran seventh, Paul Vosberg eighth, Ryan Walter ninth, Chuck McDonald 10th, Tanner Lee 11th, and Andrew Cowart 12th.
Yeah, hope to see Andrew Cowart back too. Despite the poor performance this evening, that paint scheme says I'm a champion.
Yeah, you just got to get out here. You got to run laps, and this was a tough venue, especially to start out with. If you're going to be, I mean, to be honest with you, it was a tough night for a bunch of, for even some of the top guys that we have out here. Season champion guy, we saw him get around a little bit. Guys that we normally see at the front just having a whole bunch of issues tonight. Ethan Thompson found what he needed to. Andrew Bisnet and Brian Boyd showed that practice does pay off as 1, 2, 3, as they alluded to earlier. And then that's our podium positions for tonight. But man, what a race. It was fun. A lot of beating banging. There was a lot of, cautions early, cautions middle. Kind of shook things up. And I think, given the way that it was going, it would have been interesting to see some green flag pit stops with, they could just hold off a couple more laps and let Andrew Bisnet pit.
It wasn't in the cards. It just wasn't in the
But there's
cards.
just one of those things. Congratulations to Andrew Shaner for his second pick win. So congratulations on that. I can say I'm looking forward to whatever he's going to throw at us.
Well, now that it's 2, it's just double trouble now.
Yeah, times
That's
2.
double trouble.
He hasn't even picked the now whatever.
All right, but since you guys, did a half butt job on God bless America, I'll do the half butt job on the challenge that he throws at us.
Ryan Walter
Phoenix Raceway.
Ryan Walter did give us an update on points. Ethan is leading Devin by 3. So Ethan
Yep.
Thompson would be first, Devin second, Andrew Bisnet is third, Bradley and Ross looks like they're tied because he said put them both a 4. But
All right, so
beat
we got a
Ryan
tie going
Walter.
on the fourth spot.
Big good
Absolutely.
battle on points coming down to the end, that's for sure.
Definitely.
Big shake up on points. And Jay, unfortunately, you lost to Andy again. I'm sure he's going to work up something fun and fair. And
Yeah.
when it comes to challenges, you've never been a chicken.
That's true, and there are chickens in the trees, and they got them weak knees. There are chickens in the trees, won't you listen to me, please? There are chickens in the trees, and they got them weak knees. There are chickens in the trees, won't you listen to me, please? So there you go.
I love it.
He sang that way better than we sang, that's for sure.
Well, they made me sing on a bet I didn't even know about. There was no way I was not letting Jay get out of this broadcast without singing.
But at least I finished the song, and you guys couldn't even finish like one chord.
You were
so
part
that's
of the bet.
At
That's pretty bad. That's bad.
Song.
At least
Probably
I
started
waited till
singing a
the
different song.
I waited till the viewership trickled off to embarrass you. You hit me at peak viewers.
I told everybody when we opened the show. See, if you would have gone back and watched the broadcast, you would have known. Because at the end of the last broadcast, I said we're going to open up the show with the trio of Andrew, Tommy, and Dustin singing. That's right.
You should have sent me a
America
text
the
message.
Beautiful.
I would have learned the words if I'd have known.
You don't
that
know
just
the
shows
word.
he didn't
Oh,
watch the
wow.
broadcast 2 weeks ago.
I only
I'm
know
telling you, so
the
there you go.
to the Ray Charles version. And
That's
y'all
it.
you guys couldn't keep up with that part. I'm just saying. I'm just saying.
Okay, well, I always thought it would be a great tribute to our vets, but that's okay, guys. That's all right. Now, but
It-
going into next week, we got Phoenix Raceway.
Phoenix.
Unfortunately, I am not going to be here next week. I will be flying in between um, two different parts of the country at that point. So
Oof, yeah,
I'm going to
rough
miss this.
travel
I'm going,
schedule.
yeah, so I'm not. I can't even watch it or do anything. But I'm going to miss you guys next week at Phoenix, and it's going to be a really good race. Phoenix always is a shakeup. I believe I'm going to make my pick right now, and I think Devin Zimmerman's going to come back and whoop everybody's butt. Um, he's on that tear now. He's had a couple of bad races. Now I think it's time for him to reclaim that top spot and start battling it out with Ethan again. So my
Yeah,
pick is already in.
yeah, he's had a little bit of bad luck, and I'm sorry you won't be here next week, Jay. I will do my best to be here. 99% certainty, pretty good odds. Um, and maybe if Andy can't make it, maybe we find a guest host for next week.
There you go.
It's hard work for two guys. I think with three or four, we got this down. Yeah, maybe we find a surprise guest host for next week.
Yeah, we more than likely could do that.
There you go. Dustin, any thoughts on tonight and into next week?
Oh, just a great race by these guys. These guys put on a great show. The battle for the lead at the end with like 8 to go was beautiful. They both raced clean. It
Yeah.
was a fun race. Everybody raced good tonight. It's good to see these 12 guys out here battling it hard, battling it out all the way to the end. Can't wait for Phoenix next week. I did hear from Ryan Walter. That's his favorite track. He's looking forward to that race. So maybe we'll see him bounce back from a ninth place finish tonight and hopefully be in the top 3 next week. I know he enjoys that track. He's been talking about that since the schedule is out. So we'll have to see how well he likes it. I know he likes the open dog leg, but that's what I'm looking forward to. Phoenix. It's just going to be a fun race. It's a nice change of pace. They're going to have that open dog leg. Some guys take it, some guys don't. It's just going to make it fun. Can't wait for Phoenix next week. Andy?
Yeah, that's an exciting track and a fun race to watch always. Gonna come down to tire wear again, though. It's
Oh yeah.
that's a rubber chewer. So those guys that know how to conserve those tires are gonna be in the best seats. So let's see how my boy Andrew Bisnet does again next week. I guess I can't pick him again next week, but we'll figure something out.
The rules are a fluid document.
We'll have to start a points thing for
Right?
We'll have
Points
to
thing.
do a points thing between us up in the booth. If somebody's gone, the person that special guest takes that person's spot for the week.
Oh, taking storylines to the next level, right?
I'm telling
Just
you,
have
we're
some
just
fun,
building
make some
and building.
points, have some fun with it. I think us four would enjoy that up here. But that would be a blast. Do a little fantasy vets and first responders league. I think it'd be fun.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
One last shout out before we shut it down to Andy up here in the booth for hosting the track days and our next one coming up, man. We appreciate you putting the time and effort into all that stuff and getting to meet some of these drivers. It's really awesome. Jay, I'm sorry you won't be here next week, but honestly, like I'm kind of embracing the challenge of doing the play-by-play.
Well, I think you'll do a great job. But
Right,
as
I'm
always,
gonna hire the
guys,
best guy for it.
there you go. As always, hit the like, hit the subscribe, hit the notification
Yes,
button,
sir.
hit the share button. If you don't like us, maybe somebody else crazy enough will. With our banner up here every week, TDR. Let's get these guys out there. Let's get these vets and first responders, active military, all these guys out here. Let's get them some attention that they truly deserve. And tonight was a fun race. I think everybody
Heck
agrees with
yes.
that out there.
Heck yes.
So please, everybody, let's build this thing and give back with back charities. McConey Setup Shops, thank you very much. Tyler Daniels Racing, TDR League. I mean, if you want a league to race with, everybody's saying how there's a big thing going out there with iRacing being toxic. We're a non-toxic environment. Come join TDR. Help us grow. We'll help you grow.
Don't you forget B&B Wraps now.
And B&B Wraps, absolutely. I'm going to have to actually get a hold of Jeremy since I keep calling Ethan to the front. Apparently, if I keep doing that, then you're going to have to give me a half a board. We're
That'll
going
be
to
a
have to
fun
get all
print.
that out there. But
That'll be a fun print to watch.
We'll
But
ship the whole
excellent.
thing to Ethan, but he'll have to take the effort to cut it in half. Ship
Absolutely.
half to you.
But no, I am really bummed out. I'm going to miss Phoenix, guys.
Yeah,
But
it's
I
gonna be a
will.
fun one.
Yeah, I'm not even going to be able to watch, unfortunately, from the plane. So I'm going to miss it. But maybe I can chime in from the airport when I get down. But no, it's been a fun, good season. I mean, it's really hard to tell right now who's got a control. I mean, last couple of years, Devin and Ethan have kind of, been a dominant force. And we had Causey come in, run it out. We had Shelton come in and run it out. And now Andrew seems to be taking up that. But we also got, don't forget, Brian Boyd, man. He's putting on one heck of a show since he came out here. And, we got a lot of good guys that are showing up this season, and it's really making for some really good racing.
Yes, it
You
is.
never know what's going to happen out there, and I'm just bummed. But we come back at Pocono, so you'll hear me again at Pocono, and we'll call it from there. I think that's where me and Andrew Chainer, where we got to start out there. I believe it was called that race, and Causey ended up spinning or something. I don't know. And Devin Zimmerman came home with the win. So that was an exciting finish on what most people consider a boring track to get it started. But hey, I'm loving what I'm seeing. I'm loving these guys. I can't give enough back to them for as much as they do for us. Thank you for everybody who puts on a uniform, fights fires, and pulls people over, puts their lives on the line every day. The military who go day, night. I mean, they don't even get a break. So my heart goes out to everybody, all the military families. Thank you for everybody out there in YouTube for, chiming in. You guys are great. We can't do this without you, and that's why we do it as well. So thank you very much. Andrew, Shaner, I'm going to hand this over to you to take us out tonight, bud.
Shut her down, buddy.
Yeah, thanks everybody for tuning in. Thanks to the guys for putting on an awesome race, awesome show tonight. Thank you to all of them for their service and what they do for us every day. To the YouTube chat, another great chat tonight. Love seeing it. So thanks for tuning in, everybody. Can't wait to see you next week at Phoenix. Until then, we'll see you soon.